Good afternoon and welcome to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy at match number 19, CWI Under-19 Rising Stars T20 Championships. It is Trinidad and Tobago against the Windward Islands. I'm Vidya Ramphal alongside Visham Lalman. And Visham, this is a big one here once again. We are heading up towards the business end of the tournament. Trinidad and Tobago slipping into second place after the USA defeated Guyana by 10 wickets earlier today. Windward Islands, if they can beat TNT and take care of business tomorrow, they could be champions today.
Yeah, definitely. So it's an exciting contest on our hands here today at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy this afternoon. And what makes this an exciting contest as well? Both teams coming off victories yesterday. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Trinidad and Tobago sent in to bat by the Windward Islands. So it is a different opening pair coming up here for TNT. And the Windward Islands will be they will provide a very difficult test here in this one. So just to give you a sense of the two batters going out there, it's Chanel Sao, going out there, the taller of the two batters, number 17. And a little bit of a change here. Samara Ramnath is going in to open the batting with Sao. We have seen Shalini Samaru, the captain, at the top, but she's not out there today, Bisham.
Yeah, well, just giving, Samara Ramnath that opportunity at the top of the order. She looked good yesterday. She had 12 of 13 deliveries before she was dismissed by Trisha Hardat of Guyana. So, yeah, just giving her that opportunity at the top. And
it's interesting that Trinidad and Tobago have had several good starts, including a century partnership in this tournament with Sao and Samaru up at the top. However, they've decided to make the change. They bowled out for 69 yesterday, and I don't know if there's a correlation between that. Why not stick to something that's working well?
Well, yesterday, Shalini Samaru was gone for a duck. I'm not too sure why she decided to go down the order. But what we saw yesterday, amid all the collapse that happened and the poor running in between the wickets, we saw Samara Ramnath. She has been able to rotate the strike well. And Chanel Sao, while she is a touch player, she can be aggressive as well. So maybe this is a perfect, batting pair out there in the middle for Trinidad and Tobago.
We'll see how it works out. The Windward Islands starting off with Janila Glasgow at the start. And she will start off from the northern end of the ground. One of the exciting young talents in West Indies cricket. She'll be bowling to Sao. A bit short, that one. Didn't get up very high there. She's not exactly one to pound it into the turf there, Visham, but a great start for her. Just a couple of weeks ago, she was offered a contract by the Cricket West Indies. She was one of the 15 players named by West Indies, among the West Indies women, to receive contracts. She actually received a developmental contract, so they see a lot in her and her ability. And she has repaid some of that in this tournament, not only with the ball, but she's also done well with the bat in this tournament.
Yeah, she had a couple of cameos in this tournament. Just yesterday we saw her play for the Windward Islands here against Jamaica. She bowled well. She did not pick up a wicket, but she had 11 runs in 4 overs. She bowled decently at pace as well. I think she's one of the quickest bowlers in this tournament thus far.
Yes, and certainly it's a pitch that you do get some benefits in hitting it into that hard length. Maybe just slightly short of that right now. Angelina Glasgow, the line has been immaculate so far, just homing in, trying to hit the top of off stump. And you can see immediately, it's the first time I'm seeing her. You've seen her quite a couple of times, and I think a lot of people have been very impressed with her already.
Yeah, they have. And in that first game in Diego Martin, she looked really good.
Bit wider, cut away, straight to the fielder. Though they're going for the single. This could be disaster. Hits the stumps. That's gone. Wicket gone down already. And the Windward Islands have taken it. Never run from a misfield, they say. And that is exactly what happened. And Ramnath has been run out without facing a ball. She has gone for a duck.
Yeah, the horror running continues for Trinidad and Tobago. It started yesterday. We saw that poor running. Just about 3 run outs yesterday in that innings. And now again starting with a run out here. Samara Ramnath, speaking how good she is, rotating the strike. Chanel Sao hitting it straight to the fielder. She called through Ramnath. And well, Ramnath, there was a bit of a confusion there between Ramnath and Sao. And in the end, Ramnath did not make it. She has to go without facing a ball.
Yes, and that is very true. That poor running, as you mentioned, Visham, plagued Trinidad and Tobago as they were bowled out for 69 yesterday, the lowest score in the competition in a completed innings, and that is very poor from TNT. And the thing is, the run never seemed on. It was straight to the fielder. Yes, there was a misfield, but the ball never really seemed to get far away enough from the fielder to necessitate getting a run.
Yeah, certainly, and make that 2 run outs yesterday. Maria Lafoucade was run out. Ragobir executing that run out. Amelia Khan as well was run out yesterday.
Yeah, Ragobir again. She had a very good day in terms of those run-outs. Of course, Guyana crashing to 29 all out. Trinidad and Tobago pulling off a miraculous win by 40 runs yesterday. Good line. Well, the line just straying down the leg side this time. The one where the run out, it was just outside the Ostam Sawi, able to cut that away. But a lot of people have been impressed with Glasgow since she's played in this tournament. Got 28 against the USA with a bat, 38 against the Leeward Islands, and some of her figures in this tournament: 3 for 3 against the Leeward Islands, 2 for 34 against the USA. She's been very good. James has been very good also in this tournament. Cut away. This time straight to the fielder. Picks up cleanly. And they're not going to run anything to her for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, well, they were not going to take the chance. There was a similar shot to the one we saw the run out of. So, yeah, this is a good start from the Windward Islands.
Yeah, and it was interesting. So the first wicket going down in the first over, none for one. A maiden over bowled here by Glasgow, and Trinidad and Tobago being very careful towards her. She's the big noise in the team. Of course, James is also going to be out there, and Cherry has been another good find for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, Cherry, a tall off spinner, doesn't bowl that quickly. She delivers the ball from a very high point of release, and also she bowls slowly. So that plays a big role in her success as well.
And going to start off, it is going to be Cherry, I believe, to start off from the southern end. And Cherry, as you mentioned, the tall off spinner starting off. And let's see what she has to offer here.
Still no Shalini Samaru for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Janaba Joseph is there to join Sao.
Played away to the cover region. Just to give you a field, there is a short third man, backward point, cover point, short extra cover, mid on, mid off, and there is also a fine leg and a backward square leg in there also. And all fielders inside the circle at the moment. With the pace here, it's not a bad ploy to keep the fielders inside the circle, because the batters have to do all the pace making in terms of pushing the ball past the fielders to get runs here.
Yeah, Janaba Joseph, she likes space on the ball, so this is going to be a test for her.
If anything, there is that mid-wicket in place. If anything, that mid-wicket perhaps could be a little, it's maybe a bit too straight here, because Janaba Joseph with the off spinner, she could very well work that into that gap and pick up runs easily. And there it goes, straight into the gap, and that's gone away for 4. Was a short ball. You can't really legislate for that, but if a more regulation mid-wicket had been in place, that could have been stopped.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with having that mid-wicket so straight as well. And that's a big gap there, as you mentioned. Look at that one race away here. There was a lot of rain earlier on at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and yet still the ball didn't hold up in the outfield. It ran away nicely. Good-looking shot from Janaba Joseph. Short. It sat up to be hit, and she took advantage.
Let's see if they make the adjustment now. The fielder is going back, not in the exact position, but still perhaps a bit straight there. And feel that mid-wicket on a hunch is just outside of your picture. Joseph working this one on the onside and picking up an easy single. And this is not great cricket here from the Windward Islands because all the fielders are on inside of the circle, yet Trinidad and Tobago had the time to amble a single.
Yeah, that short fine leg fielder on the circle. Janaba Joseph playing that one smartly, soft hands, dropping it and running. Sow on the other end, backing up her nicely.
Yeah, her hands could have held a bird quite comfortably. How she played that. Very, very nice play indeed from her. Yeah, it's really coming through slowly here from the bowler. And the batter's having a real awful time trying to get it away. End of the over, 6 runs at the scored in that over. Trinidad and Tobago 6 without loss after 2.
Yeah, just that one run out there. Samara Ramnath going in the first over, not facing a ball. If you're just joining us, there was a delivery that was struck straight to the field at backward point of the bat of Chanel Sow. There's the maintenance men doing yeoman service here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, keeping the scene clean, and they're painting as well.
Yeah, they're painting some white paint there today. Don't know if you should be smoking while you're painting. That may not exactly be. But you see, this is how it happens. You paint and then you take an eye on cricket. That's what cricket does to all workers. Down the leg side, beats the keeper, will only be 1 though. And of course, why not? Why work when you can watch the CWI on the 19 Rising Stars T20 Championships? They certainly are enjoying themselves. The cricket has been fine all the way through. There were a few matches lost to abandonments earlier today also, as Visham would have mentioned. The Barbados-Jamaica match ending in another no result. Both teams have now finished their complement of 6 matches in the tournament. Very full this time and wide. Slough not able to get the play here. So right now, let's just talk about the table here, Visham. The USA defeating Guyana earlier today by 10 wickets, so they now go to the top of the table on 18 points. Trinidad and Tobago in second on 14 points. In third place, the Windward Islands on 10. They need a victory here today. Cut away by Sow again. This time the fielders back each other up well. Can't get the single. So that gives you an idea of how important this contest is. The Windward Islands need to beat Trinidad and Tobago to join them in second place, or perhaps even get up to second place on 14 points.
Yeah, well, the run rate would certainly be a factor there as well. Trinidad and Tobago have a very healthy run rate.
So if they can get the victory, the Windward Islands, and of course that's a wide this time, signaled by the umpire, Ryan Willoughby of Barbados. Carolyn Brown of Jamaica is also out there. TNT's Candice Laborde is the third umpire today. Cut away by Sow into the gap, but the fielders cover it well. So Glasgow continuing here. The Glasgow, it's 8 for 1. Trinidad and Tobago starting off. 2.5 overs here. Spectators coming in all the time. Cut away by Sow. That is a lovely shot. That's going to go to the boundary for 4. Absolute class there from Sow. Wide outside the off stump, and she put it away beautifully.
She likes it there, Chanel Sow. Look at that. Too wide there from Glasgow, at pace as well, and she was striking the ball backward of point. She was finding the fielders on a number of occasions there. This time playing it forward of that point fielder, and she was able to get 4 runs, finding the gap nicely.
Yeah, playing it a little bit earlier because the last 2 or 3 shots that she's played against this bowler have gone straight to the fielder, and this time intelligent cricket there by Sow, taking it early in front of square and picking up the boundary. Nice looking drive, straight to extra cover. There's no run. And the field at extra cover, feeling the hurt of that shot. It was hit quite powerfully as the third over comes to an end. At the end of it, it's 12 without loss.
Yeah, the Windward
12
Islands.
for 1, sorry.
Yeah, the Windward Islands have been a good fielding team in this tournament. I must say that. They are right up there with Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados. Yeah, they've been good at their fielding. Have to give them that credit.
Yeah, they certainly have. So the victory for the Windward Islands will put them, as we mentioned there, up to 14 points, level on points with Trinidad and Tobago. If the margin of victory is big enough, they can actually surpass TNT and get into that second place position. Now, if that happens, well, then tomorrow's match against Guyana, who have fallen to another defeat, that could be very interesting. A bowling change here already for the Windward Islands. It is Zyder James into the attack.
I think this is a smart move as well. Zyder James coming in, left-arm orthodox spinner. And what this will do, that's a wide. Yeah, what this will do as well, there's that big gap as you mentioned there to the right of the mid-wicket fielder. And Nisha Cherry, she was turning the ball into the right-handed Janaba Joseph and Sao. But now what those short, if she misses a length here, Zyder James, she has the protection on the offside. She's asking Janaba Joseph to go across the spin of the delivery, across the line of those deliveries, and look to nudge those deliveries into that gap. Good thinking by the skipper.
A bit wide this time, a little bit shorter. Backward point, a cover point, extra cover, and a mid-off on the offside. There's also a third man in place. Of course, if she continues to drop them short, Janaba Joseph can push it through that extra cover region.
Yeah.
So Joseph quite adept, and we have seen from her innings so far, she likes to build up momentum, and she'll stay there. She'll take a couple of balls, then around that 15 ball mark, then she starts to apply the pressure. Straight to the fielder. She made a debut, of course, for Trinidad and Tobago in the Super 50 competition a couple of weeks ago in Guyana, and she has looked the part, hasn't she?
One of the top players for Trinidad and Tobago. And speaking about the bowler now, Zyder James, yesterday she had a good all-round performance as the skipper as well, 1 for 11 in 4 overs, and she had an unbeaten 52 as well, or 53 deliveries to take her team home.
Yeah, against Jamaica, good performance from her. And Zyder James, fine all-round cricketer. End of the over, 14 for 1, and just 2 runs in the over. So nice and very tight over there from James. And just take a look at what's happening over there. Well, there's the Brian Lara Cricket Academy grandstand, but just above that, a gunmetal grey cloud. And the workmen, as they have decided to get some work in while the over is changing over.
Yeah, I think they have the best seat in the house, Vidya. You know, they have the luxury of getting to work. I think this may be the best place they're working at, you know, getting to see cricket and doing their work at the same time.
It would have been better if what they had to paint was actually on the other side where the cricket is. Yeah, they certainly are enjoying themselves, and the cricket has been fine. A lot of supporters are out towards the right of our commentary position. And just before the game, just about half an hour before the game started, the influx of TNT supporters started. They're here with their horns and all sorts of paraphernalia. And as this game progresses and TNT, hopefully for them, starts to take control of the game, you'll hear them. You certainly will. Chrissa Sky Smith is going to be bowling now, so they really are ringing the changes so far, the Windward Islands.
That's good to see, not getting the Trinidad and Tobago batters settled with one bowler.
Yeah, she takes the time coming up to the crease, Chrissa Smith. Then when she goes into a delivery stride, it's a totally different matter. She really just seems to amble into the crease, but picks up the momentum late and uses her shoulders and whatever momentum she gets well at the end. That's worked through the extra cover region. Don't think the field is going to catch this. That's 4 more. And Sao has moved on to 8 now. That one struck that very well.
Yeah, what she did there was close to her, just on about 5th stump line. And what she did, she waited nicely just to play it a bit squarer of that cover fielder, and she got it into the gap and was timed to perfection as well. Another boundary to Chanel Sao.
Games chased that all the way to the end, couldn't catch up with it. So Sao has corrected what was going wrong for her. She was picking the fielders out square of the wicket, now playing earlier and getting it in front of square. This time into the gap. And what she has done at the start of the innings, the backward point and cover point were just separated by about 3 or 4 meters. Now a gap has opened up because they've tried to adjust the cover a little bit finer in order to cover that gap. Again in front of square, same result. This time races to the boundary for 4, and Chanel Sao is picking apart the bowlers here for the Windward Islands. They're much too short and too wide to her.
Yeah, and at that pace as well, it's just going to sit up to be hit. And Sao is making use of those short and wide deliveries here. And certainly, it is doing her good. 12 or 15 deliveries already.
Well, if they don't know about her, they certainly will find out very quickly that she's strong in that area and she enjoys those sorts of shots. Now, there's a deep cover in place for Sao. That is going to be a wide. Umpire will be signaling now. So this is what Sao has been able to do. And you just look back at this short passage of play here, Visham. Couple into that cover region, cut off, run out resulting. Now, playing it a bit earlier in front of square. And now that's opened up a massive gap for her to pick runs through. Missed out on that one. That was there.
Keeping a bit low as well there of Krista Sky Smith. And this has been really good from Chanel Sao as well. You know, you're hitting the ball to the fielders. That would put you under some pressure. And you would look to get on with the game. Look to get runs. But certainly she has settled in nicely. And that didn't faze her at all.
Same area, but didn't quite pick up with that one. Just one this time. So now she's opened up a sort of a portal there where she can pick up runs readily. And that's the shot that she likes to play. So she's opened up the Windward Islands. And when you think back, as the over comes to an end, 24 for 1, perhaps all of her 13 runs have come in that area.
Yeah, it has. And we've seen that in the past as well. And, you know, Chanel Sao, she's been able to access that offside region quite a lot.
Some parents here to watch their children play, and that's Shalini Samara's mom, I understand.
Yes, we had a chat with her yesterday, and she was excited. She was proud of her daughter and the entire Trinidad and Tobago team as they ended on a high yesterday.
She got a hug from her too during the interview.
Yeah, that was a heartwarming moment. Mother and daughter embracing each other.
And great to see the parents here. The parents put out so much to get their kids out there to play, and nice to see them. These are the rewards for them. Change again here. It's Selena Ross to bowl. Now, but Joseph hasn't quite connected all of the dots yet. She's still yet to get going, but still pretty tidy. 7 of 13 deliveries for her. And so this is Ross into the bowling attack.
Yeah, Ross didn't have the best of times with the ball yesterday in terms of that extras column. She was struggling to find her line. But she's on the money here at the moment.
She has, and James started with just a solitary over. So we're seeing another change here. The right arm medium. And the Windward Islands just giving all of their bowlers an opportunity here to get their teeth into the game. Another wide. None of them have quite gotten a hold of this Trinidad and Tobago batting here. Outside of that first over from Glasgow, she conceded, let's see, was that 6 runs in the second over? Just the 2 overs. I don't know if you would have given her another over there.
I think I'd save her for the back end of the innings, to be fair. She did really well yesterday, closing off the innings for the Windward Islands team.
That might be the thought pattern here. Another wide resulting. So the extras tally has continued to pile on to 7 now.
And what they did yesterday, and I think was smart, they saved Zyda James's 2 overs and Janelia's Glasgow's 2 overs for the back end for that final 4 overs. And I think that was really smart from Zyda James.
But it's a fine balancing act, captaincy and tactics. Because right now, these two could be running away with things. They're not exactly running away with things right now, but if they aren't able to get one of these 2 out and you allow them to settle, if you don't get your best bowlers at them, trying to get them to dismiss them at this time, within a couple of overs, the scoring rates could start to really mushroom. Smith, that Sal trying to turn that on the onside, but it's coming off the pad. A rather optimistic appeal. She's quite tall, the young right-hander Sal.
And you're speaking about getting in the top bowlers, looking to get these batters out. Joseph and Sal, we know how they can take a game away from you. I'd have liked to see Zyda James bowl another over.
Full toss straight to the fielder. Missed out there once again, opting for power rather than placement, and no run resulting. Now, we talked about the Windward Islands needing a win here today. Certainly Trinidad and Tobago also need a win, because the USA going up to 18 points with their victory against Guyana by 10 wickets earlier. Trinidad and Tobago need to join them. And because if they don't get the win, what will happen is that they will need to win tomorrow to equal the USA on 18 points. And you never want it in that sort of situation on the final day. 26 for 1 at the end of 6 overs.
Yeah, so at the end of the power play, Trinidad and Tobago 26 to 1. I think it's an even battle thus far between both bat and ball, but I think Glasgow and Krista Sky Smith didn't read the script well. Yesterday we saw Rihanna Retamaya operate on that off stump, middle and off stump line to Chanel Sao, and it made it very difficult for her to play those deliveries on about a 3/4 length as well, where you are in 2 minds whether to come forward, whether to play back. And in the end, she was prodding at a delivery. The way in which she got out yesterday, she was bold. A delivery that was pitched on about middle and off stump, going away from the right-hander, and it took back her off stump. I think Janelia Glasgow and Krista Sky Smith was a bit too wide. They should have been focusing on that off stump line.
Not a bowling change, and they're really ringing them. They're turning them over. Sinjar is now going to be bowling here from the... Wow, that could be a wicket here. The fielder can't catch up with it, and they just get one. Well, I wonder, that one was close to a no ball. It was a full toss and just pulled away. Luckily, it didn't go to hand, and it was not a no ball from what the umpires are saying, Visham. This is St. John starting here. That's what she has to offer. Better from her, the leg spinner.
Yeah, and you know, we must notice this as well. You know, there have not been that much leg spinners in this tournament, Vidya, and we've seen this, you know, coming to the forefront. The lack of wrist spinners, not just in women's cricket, but in men's cricket in the Caribbean.
Yes, and we're seeing we've noticed that trend also in the T10 competitions here in Trinidad and the limited overs competitions. A lack of wrist spinners, left arm and right arm spinners. Here is one, of course. Well, that's down the leg side, and the keeper didn't get across to that. They still get the wide all the same. And the signal, yes, that's going to be a wide, clearly so. But I think the tendency for wrist spinners to give up that 4 ball and maybe not be quite as tight in this shorter form of the game, that might be one of the reasons why that is so. Oh, she tried to work that away. Was that an edge? Yes, it is. And Janaba Joseph is gone for 8 of 14 deliveries. And the Windward Islands have a second breakthrough. And it is the massive wicket of Janaba Joseph, who got that 56 against Barbados. It's not going to be that. She's going to depart now. And that's some good bowling. The leg spinner doing the business here.
She'd be kicking herself, Janaba Joseph. Look how wide that was. And she was playing on the back foot there, looking to smash that through the offside. I'm sure that her eyes lit up there as that delivery was short and wide. That should have been put away. But she was caught behind a good catch as well by Fontaine in the back of the stumps. Janaba Joseph, how unfortunate this is for Trinidad and Tobago. They've now lost their second. Janaba Joseph, she leaves for 8.
So Joseph departs for 8 here. So this is excellent from the Windward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago not able to get off to a flying start here. And now this will bring the most dangerous batting partnership between Sao and Samaru. The captain is now going to come in. And here she is at the... She's going to be facing up. Now let's see if the Windward Islands have picked up a trick here. Now they have the legs spinner on. So she's going to be turning it into Samaru, who likes to drive, and she's given up a couple of catches in a very short mid-off position. Some of the teams have employed a short mid-off position. May not be the same case here. Let's see what they do if they put that fielder in place. Aside to James, let's see where she goes. Yep, they have done their homework, haven't they? There she is. That's the exact position. That's where we've seen Samaru just hit a few balls in the air in that position. So let's see if she can bowl the googly here. I think there was an attempt to bowl that. One coming out of the back of the arm, just about. 29 for 2, that's a wide, so that'll be 30 for 2. And Samaru now, she knows that she does push that ball in the air. She's been caught there a couple of times. See if she can negotiate this difficult period here for Trinidad and Tobago. So really, Windward Islands are starting to take a little bit of control here. Perhaps another wicket or so would certainly put them in control of this match.
Yeah, either one of these batters, they'd want to get them out immediately.
We'll get the single this time, and pretty comfortable in the end. And the Windward Islands, if anything, can't be too critical of them at this point, because they've done well to forge themselves into this position. 31 for 2 after 7 overs. But if anything, they have conceded a few runs here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy with those fielders not quite on the ball.
Yeah, and you know what this will do as well, Vidya, for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Yesterday we saw that happening when they lost that top order, Sao, Joseph and Samaru. We didn't see that intent from any other batter beside Anaya Roberts, to really take on the game and, put the bowlers out of their line and length, look to take the attack back to the bowlers. I think that's something that they are lacking at the back end. Maybe that's the reason why Shalini Samaru, held herself back, for the back end of the innings as well. But she's there now in the 7th over.
Yeah, it's sort of backfired here. They haven't been able to bat deep enough to allow her to come in and express herself fully at the end here. So she's sort of installed herself as that insurance policy there in the middle order. Well, now she has 13 overs still to bat here. 31 for 2. Not a great position for TNT. This is the return of Ross. And left armour. A nice, good delivery to start off.
She had a good first over. Selena Ross is bowling a nice tight line and length. She would want to keep up that here to the new batter, Shalini Samaru. You don't want to offer her any freebies here at the start of her innings. She'd be looking to get her eye into launch later on.
Yeah, it's full toss, unable to put it away. Now, at the back of her mind also is that alarming collapse yesterday by Trinidad and Tobago. You were here for that one, and you'd have seen the horror unfold here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and she'll have that in the back of her mind, and perhaps it could result in her using a more conservative approach here in her batting today. off the edge of the bat. That's going with some speed. May not carry to the boundary. And the fielder does well to put it in. The Phillip, just two resulting.
Yeah, the ball not running away quickly there, as it was wide. Took the two end of the bat maybe from Samaru, but that's good running to get 2 runs.
She's often running 3 of 5 deliveries. Sao, 13 of 25. Sao was almost run a ball at one time, so she has slowed down. And they have bowled a lot.
This moment, just leaving
sort of deflection. The fielder is down on the boundary. And that's a fine leg fielder on the boundary. There's also a forward square leg. So there's a massive gap there. You could have picked up 2.
The crowd starting to get into their work here, Vidya.
Well, can't stop the crowd from talking. And dot ball to end off the 8th over. At the end of it, 33 for 2.
Yesterday, Vidya, when we were here, the Trinidad and Tobago team, although they were capitulating there in that batting effort, the crowd was getting in behind them. And in the second innings, as they started to get wickets, even when they now started their bowling effort, it was like a CPL game here when Trinbago Knight Riders was playing, Vidya. You could have heard the crowd erupting after every ball, getting in behind each of the bowlers to ensure that they had that support to price forward. That was really exciting to see. Something special here at the Brown Lara Cricket Academy yesterday.
Certainly it was. Senja to continue the leg spinner. Just pulled that one down and a bit wide. Umpire Willoughby. He's not going to be hurried into making his decisions. Takes his time. Does that remind you of a certain Jamaican umpire? Full toss, pulled away. There's a fielder out deep mid-wicket, and they do the fielding. Just one. A little bit disappointing that Trinidad and Tobago were not able to get 2 on that.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought that they could have run 2. They run the first one hard, but the fielder coming in quickly and a good throw in as well. Speaking about the fielding of the Windward Islands team earlier, how good have they been?
Yeah, they certainly have been very good. See now as Samaru facing up for the first time. Yeah, that one coming into her. She's just trying to make some room. Just couldn't get it away well enough. James has decided that she's going to go into the slip region now. So she's applying the pressure. Or is she going to more of a gully region? Now she is at slip. More like second slip if anything. Samaru decides to play that one down the track here. Well, you really have to admire what we've seen from Zaida James so far in her captaincy. You can tell immediately who is in charge of the situation out there.
She's a senior player. She's been around this setup for a while now, Zaida James. Both her and Janelia Glasgow.
Lifted away. That's going to be 4. There's a fielder out there, but she's not going to catch up with that. And that was lifted for 4. Nicely played by Samaru, lifting that one away for a boundary. 35 for 2. And just drag that one down. You tend to see that from the leg spinners every now and again. And losing control that time.
Yeah, that would make her feel good there, Shalini Samaru. Short delivery from Sanjean. It was there to be hit and well put away.
That was very, very wide. Well, I think he's checking to see. Yes, it is a wide. Just pitching on the track. That's what he was checking to see. I think he's going to get his signal now. So one more added to the total. And let's see. The extras tally up to 11 right now.
I think that was off the track there, Vidya.
Yeah, that was some distance away. I don't think she's going to turn it in that much. Full toss. Over extra cover. 4 runs. Second 4 in the over. And Samaru picking up a second boundary. She's on to 11. And Trinidad and Tobago finally some momentum here.
Yeah, poor delivery smashed away by Shalini Samaru there. Over that cover fielder's head. Nisha Cherry was there. Even she couldn't stop that. The tall Nisha Cherry.
So that one powered away by Samaru. She's up to 11. Sao is on 14. These two put on 114 in the first match against the Leeward Islands. The Windward Islands are a different proposition altogether. Leeward Islands bringing their first team to the tournament. Their tournament is over. They've played their 6 games already. Coming down the track this time. Only straight back to the bowler. So that is the end of the second over here from St. Jean. And after 9 overs, Trinidad and Tobago in a slightly better position at 44 for 2.
Yeah, definitely so. And they're getting up their run rate a bit now, Trinidad and Tobago. Sao and Samaru finding their way. But Sao has been starved of the strike just a little bit here now, with Samaru coming in to the crease. And just to speak about those half-century run scorers in this tournament thus far, Samaru 63, Chanel Sao 53 not out, Janaba Joseph had a 56 not out against Barbados, Slick DePaul of the USA had 82 not out against Leeward Islands, and also Zyda James had 52 not out yesterday against Jamaica.
Sherry back on the attack, and this would be her second over. And misfield there by Glasgow. She's apologizing to the bowler, and they get another run.
Yeah, Glasgow, you're mentioning about her expertise in the bowling and the batting, but she has been a live wire in the field as well for the Windward Islands team.
She certainly has been. And Cherry continuing here, the off spinner, and so this one's turning across the left-hander, and this is an opportunity for her to work it between that backward point and that fielder at that short mid-wicket position. On the leg side, that's not where she wants to bowl. They will get 2 here. Samaru getting back pretty comfortably. Not too many fielders on the leg side. So Trinidad and Tobago up to 47 for 2 now, and the run rate is starting to blossom here for the first time in the match. The run flow has generally increased in the last few overs.
Yeah, and I feel that they're making a mistake there at short fine leg. She ran across, she didn't run across the ball. She should have done that to stop it, and she ran around it in the end.
On the leg side, umpire Carolyn Brown has a long look, decides that it is not a wide. Now tomorrow, 2 matches on, Trinidad and Tobago versus the USA, and Guyana versus the Windward Islands. Now, if the Windward Islands can get a win today, that will put Trinidad and Tobago in a difficult position against a USA team that is unbeaten in the competition. And for the Guyana out of the runnings for the title, but for the Windward Islands, if they can get a win today and they can beat Guyana tomorrow, they could find themselves as winners tomorrow. However, the USA will have a big say in that because they're coming up against TNT tomorrow. Full toss again. It's going to be 1 this time, straight to the fielder. But there could be a virtual final tomorrow. Yeah. This is a round-robin competition. There is no final, but it could turn out to be a final if Trinidad and Tobago do win, and they end up on 18 points level with the USA. It'll come down to that tomorrow. Who wins takes the title.
Yeah, that'll be quite exciting. It'll be played right here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy tomorrow. But yeah, and speaking about Windward Islands, getting a victory today, and that will do them a world of good. But they would also know that they would be facing a Guyana team tomorrow that is coming off 2 losses in 2 games.
Yes, Guyana would not be too happy with that particular situation. And there is the eastern side of the stadium, and we've reached the 10 over mark. Trinidad and Tobago at the end of 10 overs, 48 for 2. And as the groundsmen come out here, Visham, who's on, what total are you looking at for Trinidad and Tobago?
I think they'd want to get up to somewhere around 110 from here on in, 115, to give Windward Islands something to chase. But Sao and Samaru, they are fighting back well. It's a repair partnership, so to speak, here between both batters. Sao on 15, Samaru on 14. I think they are set. They are both set. 48 for 2. It's an even contest just set.
So 6 runs and over from here will put them over 100, and that will get to Visham's prediction. Join us in a couple of minutes. We have more TNT. 48 for 2 after 10. Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Trinidad and Tobago 48 for 2 after 10 overs. A run rate in the region of between 6 and 7 and over will take them to 110. And that is the prediction that Visham Lalman, who is beside me, Video Ramphel here, the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, says should be enough for Trinidad and Tobago to get off to a total of some merit. Zaida James, meanwhile, has other ideas. She is back on here for the Windward Islands. Just a one over, very tidy, none for 2, with her very quickish left arm orthodox spin. We've seen quite a few spinners in this tournament, none quite as quick as her. A lot of them tend to really just toss it up there. You give it a lot of air.
Yeah, some that comes to mind, you know, those slower bowlers, Navina Ramnath of Guyana, Nisha Cherry of the Windward Islands, even Samara Ramnath from Trinidad and Tobago, and Kiara Ruben. A couple slow, very slow spinners.
And that turned into the onside. Just one this time. And of course she has that experience of playing at West Indies level. She played for West Indies A team in that historic series against Pakistan A last year. Pakistan A had a very good time here in the Caribbean. The senior side did not. The West Indies team would have gone on to win that one. But the A side certainly won their series here in the Caribbean. On drive, straight to the fielder. There will be one. Turned out to be a tight single in the end, but they got there well. So these two batters, Sao on to 16 now, and she's just added 2 runs since that flurry of 3 boundaries and a single. It's taken her somewhere in the region of 15 balls to add her next 2 runs.
Yeah, as I was saying, she has been starved of the strike just a bit with Samaru coming in, but knowing the caliber of Chanel Sao, she's not going to let that get the better of her. And speaking about these players in West Indies cricket, of course, coming from this tournament would be a West Indies Women's Under-19 Rising Star squad that would be selected for a tour, an international Under-19 series against the United States in Lauderhill, Florida.
Yeah, always a great place to play cricket. Seen that stadium. It is certainly a great beachhead for cricket in the USA. And of course, the USA in this competition, the participation, the level of cooperation between USA Cricket and Cricket West Indies continues to grow, and that can only bring great benefit to both of those confederations. Pulled away into the gap, and that's going to run away for another boundary. First boundary in quite a while, and now Samaru in just 20 deliveries has gone past Sao. She has now moved into the top scorer's position. It wasn't exactly a very, very short there from James, but Samaru played a wonderful shot for 4.
Yeah, she's getting into the act nicely. Shalini Samaru, she's starting to build her innings now. She took a couple deliveries just to get her eye in, and she's getting a move on now. That's good. The 50. 54 for 2 now, Trinidad and Tobago.
Got a line there from James. More to her field. And when you bowl at international level, those, you know that those the slow spinning deliveries, that the trajectory of the ball just becomes flatter and flatter, as we've seen here from James with that international experience. Looking to sweep down the leg side. There's no one behind square on the leg side, so not a bad attempt there by Samaro. That's the end of the over. And at the end of 11 overs, Trinidad and Tobago are 54 for 2, and they picked up 6 runs in that over.
Yeah, not a bad over, and you're saying if they can score from this over now, from the 10th over, 6 runs per over, they would get up to a healthy total. There's 2 of the groundsmen, and does their work here at the Lara Cricket Academy.
And large part of that work is done barefooted, because of course you can't wear spikes when you're walking over covers. These 2 gentlemen are big part of that. And we've seen them all the way through the years here at the Lara Cricket Academy. I've seen a couple of them at the other stadium, which is the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. And some of them do double duty. They shift in between the stadia. And they, of course, have had their work cut out for them during this tournament, because the covers have been dragged on and off many times over the last week. Short, and exactly able to put that one away from there from Ross. But Windward Islands, so far, would you be happy with the position that they found themselves in?
Yeah, I think so, but I think they need to continue to pick up wickets. I think if this partnership continues here, it won't get any easier for the Windward Islands.
Down the leg side, feel they will get that. So the partnership, yeah, that's the 2 wides are resulting. The last wicket falling at 29, Joseph feathering a catch behind to Fontaine of Saint Jean. She was gone for 8. Ramnath run out without facing a ball, without scoring. So those are 2 wickets to go. So the partnership now up to 27, Visham.
Yes, it's a nice partnership building here. One of the better partnerships in this innings for Trinidad and Tobago.
Another single. They might perhaps thinking about 2, but that was never going to happen. So we're inside the 12th over here, and this is going to be the 3rd over for Ross. So Ross will bowl her 3 here. Glasgow, I believe, has 2 more. Cherry also has 2. James has bowled a couple of overs. Also, she has a couple of overs still to go. Signs of swing there, but certainly starting that one too wide outside the off stump.
Yeah, she was on about that middle and off stump line earlier. I think she needs to continue with that. Batner's not really been able to get the ball away when she's been that tight.
Easy run here. Every run scored by the Trinidad and Tobago team is greeted by horns and cheering away to the right of us. And the crowd is having a look at it during the 10 over break. And a lot of families out there, Vishan.
Yeah, yesterday as well we saw those magnificent scenes. I was speaking about the persons in the crowd, but you know, as the Trinidad and Tobago team left the Lara Cricket Academy, when they were exiting their dressing rooms yesterday, we saw a number of the family members, not just the family members but other fans as well. They were waiting outside the Lara Cricket Academy to greet the Trinidad and Tobago team. It was something special to see yesterday.
Yeah, it was. I saw some images of it on social media. It really was great to see the support for this TNT women's cricket team. Looking to pull that one away. It went on the offside. That's a fine stop there by James. Nice diving stop, and the skipper really leading by example here. She's been excellent with the bat, excellent with the ball. And just to talk a little bit about Zyda James with the bat in her hand, after getting that 52 not out against Jamaica yesterday, she will have ambitions for more today. Off the pad, there's a stifled appeal, turned down by umpire Brown. And that was going down the leg side. That is the end of the over. At the end of 12, here is it, Visham. Take a look.
Yeah, is that appeal again? It started very straight. Yeah, just maybe missing leg stump. Hit quite high up on that left leg as well.
Scoring rate continues to climb here, just about 5 and over. And TNT 59 for 2 at the end of 12 overs. And so, Windward Islands reasonably well in control here. And they know that they have the quality of batting with James. Samaru 20 and Sao 17. So these two starting to put together another nice little partnership here for Trinidad and Tobago. And is this... it is going to be St. Jean to continue. And I think she has 2 more overs still to go.
Yeah, she has 2 overs remaining. I think Saida James has 2 as well. Janelia Glasgow certainly has 2 more. The impact player for the Windward Islands.
Easy 1. So the Windward Islands team, their body language still very good out there. They're looking positive. A few smiles out there. They're going about their business. And they were giving away quite a few boundaries early. Now they have sort of reined that in. They haven't given away quite as many boundaries in this innings as they were earlier. They've kept Sao very quiet. Samaru has been also a different proposition.
I think here now, in this little period here, I think they're letting up a bit too many singles. They're making it easy for the Trinidad and Tobago batters to find those gaps and get those singles. That would just ease the pressure of the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Shorter one, down the leg side, pulled away. The fielder is getting there. Kazishi been able to stop it. Couldn't quite see. The umpires will have a look at this. That looks like a good stop. We'll put that down to a very good stop here. Pulled away by Samaru. Let's see what happens. That hit the ropes. It definitely did hit the ropes. But I don't think I saw any signal from the umpire. That seemed to come off the hand, and to my mind there, that seemed to hit the ropes there, Visham.
Yeah, definitely hitting the ropes, David, yeah. Your eyesight is better than mine, certainly, but it certainly hit the ropes.
Power downfield. Now, the 4 runs was not given. The umpire went with the call of the fielder. Now, the fielder actually put in the dive, but when her back was turned, the ball hit the ropes and came back off the ropes. So she may have been thinking, well, I got a clean stop in there.
Yeah, she wouldn't have known whether the ball hit the rope or not there. She would have seen the ball inside the boundary line as she got up.
So shimmy down the track to get 1. Yeah, so I think that's what happened there. Because when she looked up, she saw the ball off the rope. So she would have felt, yes, I did get the stop in, got the hand behind it. But I think there was enough evidence to suggest that ball did hit the ropes with enough force for it to rebound off it. Cut away, beats James. It's peeled out there though, and just 1. So the floor front starting to pick up again here, Visham.
Yeah, and you know, Sao on 18 of 32. Very soon we could see her looking to get a bit more aggressive here, Vidya. Get on with things a bit.
Between these two, as the over comes to an end here, 64 for 2. These two have put on 42 runs, and they have faced 62 deliveries between them. 61, deliveries between them. So just 7 overs remaining, 13 overs gone, 64 for 2. So that target of 110 very much on the cards. It might be even more here if they can get away, get some more runs in. This pair of batters from Trinidad and Tobago.
Look as though they're gonna bowl out Selena Ross.
That was in the air. It's not gonna carry to the fielder. Glasgow picks it up. And they have been able to cross 4-2. So that's a little bit chancy there. The Glasgow was just in that cover position, and that just looped over her head.
Yeah, well, if I were Chanel Sau, my heart would have certainly been in my mouth there with seeing Janelia Glasgow running back, one of the top fielders in the tournament.
She's very, very fast out there. Hit past the bowler, will not carry to the boundary. Couple of bounces to the field, as you can see there. So these two batters starting to look like they have shed their conservative coats at the moment. Looking to get on with things here. Sao up to 19, Samaru 23, and the partnership has blossomed here to 35. Yeah, those type of singles, those are the singles that should be cut off by the Windward Islands. And I think we have been keeping a count, sort of an unofficial count of how teams have done in the field, and I think they have given away perhaps 10 runs or so in situations like that.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, we saw that today from the Windward Islands. Too many easy singles were given to Samaru and Chanel Sau. Added to also 15 extras in this innings already.
Make that 16.
Yeah.
On the leg side, as signaled by umpire Brown. Ross in her last over. There's 2 balls, 2 legal deliveries to go. She hasn't conceded a pile of runs, just 13 runs conceded of the 22 deliveries, so you'll take that.
I think the captain, Zaida James, will be happy with the performance today.
She went straight to the field and out. Carbon copy of one of the dismissals we saw from Shalini Samaru in this tournament. Straight to the fielder in that short extra cover position. And James, who has obviously done her homework, has seen Samaru just hit it straight to her. She's gone for 24.
Yes, Lena Ross not being afraid to get the ball up, pitching it up. Samaru was driving and she found Zaida James at cover. And that was a good catch. It was traveling. Was struck hard there by Shalini Samaru. A dejected Samaru goes back. She got a start. She wasn't able to carry on. She has to go for 24 of 32. But she makes way now for Maria Lafoucade.
It's obvious that the teams have worked out how she's going to be dismissed in this competition. She drives it in the air in that extra cover region. And it's good to see that the Leeward Islands and all of the other teams can also try a similar line of attack to her. And they also got her driving in that position. And it's really up to this young player from the TNT captain there to work on that. And I think perhaps maybe you tend to see that sometimes as you're reaching forward, if that back leg collapses a bit too much, the knees a bit too low, you tend to keep the ball in the air instead of getting over it.
Yeah, too much bottom hand there from Shalini Samaru. And Maria Lafoucade joins Chanel Sau. Samaru would be unhappy. As I said, getting a start of 24, she would have wanted to see a team home in this innings. Get them up to a respectable total.
Lafoucade has not had too many opportunities, this right-handed player. She gets her opportunity here today, and she still has some time here. 6.1 overs still to go. Last ball of Ross's spell, and it's a single here, and she's easily off the mark, Lafoucade. So that actually, excuse me, just one more ball to go. So Lafoucade off the mark, and to the joy of many here at the stadium.
Yeah, definitely. I was at Diego Martin Sporting Complex on Trinidad and Tobago playing Jamaica. Of course, that game was abandoned earlier in the tournament. But as Maria Lafoucade was walking out to the middle, there was an uproar at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex. Every run she scored, there was the same, reaction from the crowd as well.
That's the thing. The crowds tend to take to some players, and it's obviously they have certainly embraced Maria Lafoucade. 14th over comes to an end. 70 for 2 at the end of 14. So Trinidad and Tobago losing their third wicket in that over. And that was the wicket of Shalini Samaru going for 24. Joseph made 8. Ramnath run out for 1. Sao on 23 of 36 deliveries. She's going to have to push on here because it's up to her to really push on to get runs. The umpire is just conferring, just looking around. I know it's not about the weather, Visham, which seems to be in good stead this evening. Your knees aren't hurting you today?
Well, I know my knees are in check, but Michael's knees, Michael Rupwa's knees, he's telling me that this morning he had some pain, Vidya.
That's why the rains came.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Scientifically tested, there's a correlation between those two variables. Meantime, here's one of the big variables for the Windward Islands in their quest to get victory and to go up to 14 points in this tournament, the Windward Islands. And it is Zyda James, the left-arm orthodox spinner, bowling to the new Sao here. It's gone through the fielder, and that's going to be 1. And they will get 2 this time. That is 2 more runs, and that's rather careless there from the Windward Islands. Straight through the fielder, and that's more runs that they could have really contained. Hope to contain.
Yeah, Lafoucade was down to the other end in a flash. And she was waiting on Sao to respond for a second.
And very interesting the way that she got into this national team. I understand that there's a very interesting story, which you can tell us about that.
Yeah, well, of course, good sources. Anil Lakan told us how she got into the team.
Chipped over extra cover. Just 1. I believe it had something to do with one of the a coach going down to do a PE exam and saw her. She was actually using cricket as her physical education component in that physical education exam, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Amin Forjani, I believe, made that call. He spotted a talent, and well, she certainly blossomed into something special because here she is on the national setup.
She is, and as you know, in physical education around the Caribbean and in those O-level exams, you do have to perform one of these sports. Oh, that's straight through the keeper. That's not great keeping, and that's gone to the boundary for 4. And it's all going wrong here for the Windward Islands in this over. That should have been taken. Yeah, that should have been stopped.
I think she got up too early there, Fontaine, not staying low. She shuffled across well, but she didn't stay low. The ball keeping a bit low, it went through her leg. She didn't get the glove state. And, well, valuable runs for TNT, but not so much for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, and Maria Lafoucan at the crease. And students are allowed in those physical education exams to choose one sport they need to do as part of their practical test. She chose cricket, and she showed great potential. Well, she's been sent back here. And she hits the ball really hard, Lafoucade. And she's quite quick in the outfield too.
From what I've seen from her in this tournament already, she likes to get on with things. And when I say that, you might think she's an aggressive player in terms of her ball striking. But no, I mean that she's a busy player at the crease. She likes to get runs. She likes to take those quick singles.
Pulls that 1. Long on coming into play. So just 1 more. Yeah, she does challenge the fielders. Yeah. And Sao, who has gone along for her 26 of 40 deliveries. That is the end of James's 3rd over. 78 for 3 at the end of 15 overs. So 5 more overs to go here, Visham. They got 8 runs off that over. Are you likely to change your prediction now?
I don't think I'd change my prediction. Chanel Sao is still there, 78 for 3. Maybe we can see a bit more, about 10 runs added to that prediction.
Up to 110, 120?
Just maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But I'd still go with 110, Vidya.
Well, let's see how the runs went over the 5 over blocks. 24 in the first 5, 24 in the second 5. But 30 runs coming off between the 10th and the 15th over. So the Trinidad and Tobago quickened things up before the loss of Shalini Samaru. So the opening bowler, Cherry, is back on. That's Nisha Cherry. Off spinner back on here. Let's see how Lafoucault deals with her. Down the leg side, she was looking to get that one behind square. There is a deep backward square leg and a short fine leg. And you can see what she was trying to do, get it behind square.
The umpire not signaling wide there. Of course, Maria Lafoucault getting inside the line of that delivery, but was down the leg side nonetheless. Umpire Carolyn Brown had other thoughts there.
Full toss, straight to the fielder, out! Well taken, and Lafoucault getting a full toss and unable to put it away straight. Well, that was actually the worst fielder you want to hit a full toss to, because Glasgow's not going to drop those. She took it quite well.
Overrunning it a bit there, Vidya. Janelia Glasgow, she was coming in, but she did well to hold on to that. That was shot powerfully by Maria Lafoucault, but unfortunately she gets another chance. She hasn't been able to make use of it. She's gone now for 2. Trinidad and Tobago loses their 4th wicket. They are now 78 for 4.
Well, and alarming slide yesterday for Trinidad and Tobago to be bowled out for 69. Well, this time it's certainly not going to be that. 78 for 4 with still 4.4 overs to go. And Sal's still there on 26. And she has now been joined by Roberts. Roberts in here for Trinidad and Tobago.
And Naya Roberts coming out to the middle. Sal has seen a number of wickets fall around to 4 wickets at that. She's still there.
So Cherry takes her first wicket. And she gets the wicket of Lafoucault. Sal on 26. Roberts now coming in to do battle here. And the batters actually did not cross at all during that period. I think that law has actually been changed just yet. It's in October that will change. They will get a single here, referring to the new change in the law. So when a batter is dismissed in a situation like that, the new batter will have to face up to the strike.
Yeah, regardless of
whether they cross. It could be high in the air, they could cross 10 times. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, of course that would take effect from October 31st.
Quite a few of the laws will take effect in that period. Bit too wide this time, and easy decision for umpire Brown.
You're saying that 30 runs have been scored in that final 5-over period. Now, if they can get that in this little period here, this next 5 overs now, inclusive of this over, they can get up to 108, 110 thereabout. Look at that.
They go for the single. Belatedly, that could be out. Yes, it is. Good throw, and that is the end of Roberts' second run out here. It was always going to be a difficult single, and that was a fine throw for the run out. And Roberts is gone for 1.
She got away with 1 earlier. She nudged 1 into the onside to the short fine leg fielder, and she was a bit late on her feet. But this time she has to go. Sal playing that straight to the short third man fielder. I'm not sure why Roberts called her there. And in the end, she was well short of her ground. So that's another wicket down for Trinidad and Tobago.
So that is. And Ross was the one who came in to effect a run out. So the Windward Islands, their fine fielding in this competition continues. And the new batter is Ariane Neves. Is that Ariane Neves? Ariane Neves is in now.
Well, it looks as though it's Ariane Neves.
No, it's actually not Ariane Neves. We did get a note on this.
Oh, yes.
That actually Kanika Kassar is wearing the T-shirt of Ariane Neves. So correction there. Yeah, I think we were told that earlier. So that is Kanika Kassar. She's left-handed. And we did mention in several broadcasts earlier that she is the silver medalist from the Carifta Games in the javelin throw for Trinidad and Tobago. She's quite powerful, hits the ball quite well. Yeah, Kanika Kassar, and another one joining Hayley Matthews and Deandra Dutton. Another cricketer who's medalled at the Carifta Games. It is quite a fine institution, the Carifta Games, a nursery for talent in track and field. And apparently also in cricket.
Well, she's doing the double dose. Athlete in athletics and now in cricket. So I think she had something to tell you as well, Vidya, when you met her downstairs at the Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, I did ask her if she would, which one would she prefer, and she said cricket. And she would stick to cricket in spite of that silver medal. Of course, they're not those three women, Kassar and Hayley Matthews and Deandra Dottin, aren't the only former javelin medalist in the Caribbean. Yeah, a supply of these for the tournament, and a supply of those two. Yeah, the T-shirts I've seen a lot of people in the T-shirts for the Trinidad and Tobago team. Of course, on the men's side, Keyshawn Walcott, who is also a very fine secondary schools cricketer here in Trinidad and Tobago, was a three-time Carifta champion in the javelin, went on to win the Olympic medal back in 2012 for TNT. Cut away by Sao. That's past James. Some work here in the outfield. Two fielders, neither able to get there. Another fine extra cover drive here from Sao. She's into the 30s now.
Well, Glasgow coming back into the attack, not learning from the first couple of overs of hers. Short and wide again, assisting Chanel Sao. And well, she gets up to 30 now. She would like that. She'd say continue to bowl it there, Janelia Glasgow.
If anything, she's been just a trifle short to Sao, and that's with outside the off stump. Sao has harnessed the power to great effect here in this innings.
Yeah, both fielders, they're not able to get to that.
Better, that's the sort of line she needs to bowl to Sao here, who has not shown that ability to work the ball on the onside or to pick the gaps from that position.
Yeah, she finds it very difficult to play into the onside, Chanel Sao. So that's why I was thinking why the Windward Islands bowlers didn't bowl straight to her at the start of the innings.
And again, more width. The fielder is a little bit straighter this time, and they will only get two this time. Better shot, but they finally got the fielding right here. The fielder in the right position, and just two resulting. But that's 6 runs in 2 deliveries here for Sao.
Yeah, and Zyla James immediately making a change. They're moving Abini Saint-Jean a bit straighter.
Yeah, oh, that's one short, actually. That's what's happened here. Wondering, well, it is the signal here at the southern end of the ground. So obviously, it is Sao who grounded short that time. She's robbed herself of a run. Can't blame your partner for that. Oh, that one rose on her. Better delivery. She's less comfortable with her deliveries in that region. And I think Glasgow has finally found a line of attack here that will work against Sao.
Yeah, and you can see Sao there in some discomfort. There's Abini Saint-Jean, pick up and release. And there was well, of course, we missed the short run there, Vidya. Chanel Sao committing a cardinal sin.
This time, James will get across. Misfield by the skipper. But Sao was caught ball watching. Actually, she could have, if James had picked that up, she would have been stranded in the middle of the pitch. In the meantime, Kassad sprinted down to the other end. Of course, she's used to that as a javelin thrower. So there was another run out perhaps on the offer there for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, there've been some confusion in between the crease. Both creases for Trinidad and Tobago yesterday and today. 2 runouts again today for them already. 2 runouts yesterday as well. Area of concern.
Yeah, that's gone into the onside. No run this time. That's the end of Glasgow's 3rd over. At the end of 17 overs, Trinidad and Tobago are 86 for 5. And in spite of that boundary, just 6 runs in the over for Trinidad and Tobago. So your prediction of 110 is looking better and better at the moment here, Visham Lalman.
Normally predicts correctly, Vidya. What are you saying? You don't need to second guess my prediction.
Well, I'm not hearing a lot of agreement in the box as you said that. But there are the calculations being made. That's umpire Candice Laborde from Trinidad and Tobago. And part of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force here. She's an officer within the Defense Force. And just getting the communications right with the umpire and, of course, the match commissioners. The calculators out there. There's the counter just to the right of her right hand. That's the counter they use. So all of the apparatus of the umpires there. And of course there's the lunch bag too, which often does help a lot.
Big turn from Nisha Cherry.
Yeah, a lot of turn coming in. And well played by the batter. Good cricket all round. The throw also hitting the stumps. This has been a very good game. It's been quality game between these two teams that are challenging for the title. Trinidad and Tobago and the USA looking the most likely to take it. Right now the Windward Islands are an outside shot, but victory today could turn them into possible champions, contenders tomorrow.
Yeah, and you mentioned this game being a really highly contested one as well. Good talents on show.
Big swing, and she survives here. Kassar, she chances her arm, doesn't she? There was that game that was abandoned in Diego Martin. She certainly did take a waft at a few at that time.
Yeah, she came in and looked to be aggressive very early on in the innings. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see much of her as the rains came down.
Field is on the boundary of the leg side at long on. And there's also another fielder wide, resulting at deep mid wicket. Tell you what, we've seen a few maximums in the competition. We've seen 3 here. Don't know, did you see any at Diego Martin?
Yeah, I saw a couple USA hitting a couple. I believe it was Lisa Ramjit from the USA team. Struck a couple lusty blows there in Diego Martin.
We have seen a lot. It's not exactly one maximum per game, but we've seen a few in this competition. Well, the appeal for stumping, that's been turned down by umpire Willoughby. Just to remind you, earlier today, Guyana 47 for 5 in 15 overs. That game, their innings ended by rain. Ramnath 12. Stingder Paul has been very impressive in this competition. 2 for 8. Badri Raju, 2 for 15. The USA wiping off a revised target of 56 in very quick time. Disha Dhingra 32 not out, and Chetra Prasad 19 not out, so they got the win there. And of course the earlier game today, Barbados versus Jamaica, was rained out. Those two teams have now ended. Their tournament is now ended. They have the extra day in Trinidad here, and hopefully the weather is not going to be great over the next 2 days, we're told. Maybe that removes their chances of a visit to Maracas, where many of the teams do in fact visit. The Trinidad and Tobago trainer Wayne Samuel is on the field now. Wonder what's happening here. It's not Kassar. Shalini Sao here. Wonder what the issue is. Well, Mr. Samuels just sprinted on. Not sure what was the issue. Well, there's one of the other trainers is out there too at the moment. So there obviously is, the umpires feel there is an issue, and it has necessitated them calling on not only the medical staff but the physio. And umpire Carolyn Brown just having a talk over with Sao. Seems to be okay. I think, if anything, she didn't want any attention.
Yeah, I think the umpire was concerned. More so than Chanel Sao.
Flighted delivery, not going to be a run this time. Sao 34-48. The crowd are urging her to get on with it here. 2 overs and 1 ball to go. Last ball of Cherry spell, 1 for 13 so far. pulled away, 4 runs, and her spell ends off with a rather ordinary delivery, and Sao needed no second invitation. She picks up another boundary, and Trinidad and Tobago end the 18th over. Visham Lalman at 92 for 5.
Yeah, Kassar fancies the onside, too short from Cherry, pulled away to perfection from Kassar, and she earns herself a first boundary. A welcome one as well for Trinidad and Tobago here at the back end of the innings.
Kassar, yeah, she gets off the mark with a boundary. Sao, excuse me, was at the non-striker's end. I was talking about as the umpires had brought on the physio to deal some issue. There's going to be one more delivery here. And that is rather short delivery. That wasn't worked away. So that is going to be the end of Cherry's spell. 1 for 17 her figures. And Trinidad and Tobago at the end of 18 overs are 92 for 5. If they can get a runner ball from here, Visham, they're going to be in a very good position here, closer to that 120 that you predicted the second time round.
Yes, certainly, and they would want some aggressive batting here now from Chanel Sao. The final 2 overs, 5 wickets in hand. I think they can chance their arms here now, Vidya.
Well, despite the cricket, the work has progressed nicely. They've almost finished with that beam just on the right side at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. And there's actually something of a crane that's moving them along here. So it's a 4-man team from what I see working, doing the painting. And you can see they're properly harnessed. That is great to see.
Yeah.
Health and safety laws in TNT, very strong on situations like that. They do have their harnesses. If they are unseated for some reason, they will be safe. Good delivery from Glasgow. That is the line that she needs to bowl to Sao. And they might, the 2 workmen might have been precariously placed, but Trinidad and Tobago not so. In a good position here to push on towards 120. It's up to this young lady, Glasgow, to pull things back here for the Windward Islands. Powerfully driven, just going to be 1. Oh, there's going to be a second, a misfield. Unfortunate here. Dropped by Marcelin. Not what you want to see in the death overs here for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, very much so. And allowed Chanel Sao to come back on strike. Not something that the Windward Islands team would have wanted. And you can see Zaida James having one more over. She could be the person to finish the innings, bowling that final over.
Good delivery. They're appealing for a catch at the wicket. Yes, that's out. And Sao has to go here. Caught behind. And that is good bowling here from Glasgow. She goes back to the top of her mark, but that is the wicket down. And she has taken 1, and Sao has gone for 36.
Yeah, she's not celebrating at all, Janelia Glasgow. A certain edge there from Chanel Sao. Good catch taken by Fontaine. She gets her second catch of the innings as well, the wicket keeper. And Sao has to go for a well-played knock of 36. And she has a word with Janelia Glasgow, a friendly one.
Yeah, it's a great spirit this tournament has been played in, and the 2 rivals here meeting and just complimenting her on the delivery that she bowled. Just took a fine edge, and the end of a good innings here from this young lady. And Sao has gone for 36 of 51 deliveries, 94 for 6.
Yeah, Kira Manpol now coming out to the middle to join Kanika Kassar. 94 for 6. 2 fairly new batters at the crease now. Well, Manpol certainly new, and Kassar, she's faced 8 deliveries. It's going to be an interesting finish here now for Trinidad and Tobago. Where can they get up to now?
26 runs in the last 3.3 overs. So TNT have accelerated in this last the last 5 overs here. Good ball from Glasgow, and with your Manpol coming in to do the fielding as the drizzle starts to come down. Not heavy enough here to force the players off the pitch, but if you're Manpol, you have to come in here late. You only have 8 balls to go. It's a difficult proposition to face up with to someone like Glasgow. Wow, what a delivery. That was too good for Manpol, and she's still up to get to speed with this match, and Glasgow is making it very difficult here.
Yeah, that one coming back in sharply there from Janelia Glasgow. There's that drizzle. It's getting a bit heavier.
Yeah, it is. It is getting a little bit heavier. I'm surprised your knees were not quite hurting as much. Mikey is holding on to his knees right now, so I think that's the indication that the rains have come. Good full delivery here. It's worked away by Manpaul, who's off the mark. There's another misfield. The Windward Islands have not done themselves a lot of favors in this effort in the field. Has been good in Maine, but a lot of misfields and runs being leaked here. 96 for 6 at the end of 19 overs. 4 runs coming off the over.
Much needed runs for Trinidad and Tobago. Glasgow, what a spell. 1 for 17 in 4 overs. Cherry, 1 for 17 in her 4 as well. Zyda James, it's gonna be her to finish off the inning. She's bowled 3, none for 13. Krista Sky Smith, none for 10 and 1. She's been expensive. Selena Ross, 1 for 14 and 4. Price fell from the left arm seamer. And Abini Saint Jean, 1 for 21 in 3.
So the 3 players to be bowled out: Glasgow, Cherry, and Ross. Saint Jean and Smith making up the other 4 overs. And now James is going to continue here with the rains coming down. That slight drizzle has dissipated a bit here. It's going to be difficult here for the spinner. That's hit just short of the fielder. They've gone for the run. That's going to be run out. Yes, it is. And that is another player down. Another run out here for Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the end of Manpaul. Kassar and Manpaul just hesitating slightly. That was enough. And look at what happens here. Bisham, yeah, she was clearly out of the crease.
Yeah, she started to dive very early there. She saw that ball coming in from the fielder. I thought that little confusion there at the start, a stop start there from Manpaul, that really caused that run out. She wasn't able to get through in time. So Manpaul has to go for 2. And she leaves Kassar there on 4. Katie Jazz Mitchell strides out to the middle. Number 99 on her back.
So 96 here, and 7 wickets now down for Trinidad and Tobago. What was interesting there in that run out from Manpaul, Manpaul also didn't take a direct route down the field. She ran almost diagonally, and that little detour there cost her wicket. Mitchell getting her first delivery, and just 2 deliveries gone in this final over here. And who better than James to bowl it? They will get 1. Better hear from Katie Jazz Mitchell. And it is going to be Kassar who's going to face up. She's going to try, well, I guess you could say she's the senior batter there at the moment. And let's see what her options are. There is a fielder in Glasgow in that deep mid-wicket area. So she can work it into that area. That's going to be short delivery. And that's hit over the fielder and down to the long off boundary for 4. Short delivery, and she made James pay with that one.
Well, the 100 comes up in the process. 101 for 6 now. And the TNT's dugout erupts in delight as Kassar strikes that one away over mid-off head for 4. That's a nice shot.
Bad delivery there from James. Has dragged that one down. And Kassar hits it very, very hard indeed. Yeah, she has powerful arms, powerful shoulders, upper body well developed. She hits that one very well. Oh, this could go to the boundary. The fielder's going to have some work if she's going to get across to it. And it passes her right foot and into the ropes for 4. Consecutive boundaries here for Kassar.
Yeah, Cheyenne Games not being able to get around to stop that one. She got there actually, but she wasn't able to stop it. She dove over it. It went through her legs. And well, I think Zyda James would be very unhappy with that effort.
Well, not the greatest of deliveries to start with, but Kassar giving a TNT a little flurry at the end here. This could go all the way for 6 runs. Yes, it has. 4-4-6 from Kassar. And James has being pummeled here in the late stages at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
Kasa, you pocket rocket. Look at that shot. Straight back down the ground for 6. What a hit from the little left-hander Kanika Kasa. She ends on a high. 111 for 6. Trinidad and Tobago, I think they could be in with a good total here, Vidya.
111 was the prediction by my co-commentator Visham Lalman. There they are. Kanika Kassar to the left and Katie Jazz Mitchell to the right. They have a smiles on their faces, and as they get more serious as they approach the dugout, they know the job is only half done here. Trinidad and Tobago looking to defend 111 for victory against the Windward Islands, and that will, if they can do so, that will be a straight out, almost a virtual final against the USA tomorrow. Windward Islands, if they still have a chance to get this title, they need to chase down that 111 Visham.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting second innings here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Zyda James, of course, coming off a brilliant half century yesterday, 52 not out of 53. This is going to be a test for the Windward Islands to get the 112 for victory. But we'll have to wait and see how it finishes.
There's also Glasgow, who can hit the ball very hard. So this total is very much within the reach of the Windward Islands. Join us in a few minutes' time for the run chase as the Windward Islands chase down 112 to get victory. Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy here in South Trinidad. It is match number 19 of the CWI on the 19 Rising Stars T20 Championships. It is Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands. The Windward Islands will have to chase down 112 for victory. I'm Vidya Ramphal alongside Visham Lalman, and Visham did predict a total in the region of 110, and the target is 112, Visham. So for once, your prediction is almost spot on here.
I'm always right, Vidya. I just missed it by 2 today.
So you claim. Well, 112 is the victory target, and the highlights of the innings: 36 from Sao, 24 from Samaru, and 18 not out from Kassar at the end. And she hit a 6 and a couple of 4s in the last over. Now, Trinidad and Tobago will start off immediately with Samara Ramnath starting off at she'll be bowling from the southern end of the ground. Umpires, just to remind you, Carolyn Brown and Ryan Willoughby. And umpire Brown just getting ready to watch on as Ramnath is in for the first delivery. And the two openers for the Windward Islands are Smith and James. And Zyda James, who had that brilliant 52 not out versus Jamaica, she is in first. And Visham, she is a tough customer at the top there for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, she had a brilliant half century yesterday, 52 not out or 53 deliveries to earn her team a victory against Jamaica.
Appealed for an LBW there, but that appeared to be a bit high and also moving down the leg side.
Yeah, Ramnath extracted a lot of turn yesterday as well. It brought her 2 wickets, 2 prize scalps yesterday. In the first 2 overs, you'd want that same sort of effort from her today, the captain Shalini Samaru.
It's a good start here for Ramnath, Smith and James. And we saw from James that 52. She also had some very good performances with the ball in the competition. Glasgow has also batted well, 28 and 38. Down the leg side, pulled away. Straight to the fielder though. Just a 1. Lafoucard is there. And there's also Marcelin, who got 37 against the Leeward Islands. So at least 3 batters getting some runs in this competition. So TNT will have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they will. And of course, this is one of the persons there on strike now, Zyda James. Should look to stand in front of Trinidad and Tobago and take them away from this game, away from victory. They need to get her out very early. What Samara Ramnath does as well, she has some variation in her armory. She can bowl leg spin delivery as well. She does it a lot. This would be interesting here, how she goes against Zyda James.
She is getting some turn, keeping a bit low with her slip in place.
Something we saw from Chanel Sao. We saw that Chanel Sao finds it difficult to play through the onside, but Zyda James, the left-hander for the Windward Islands, she likes playing through the onside. She finds it very difficult to stroke the ball into the offside.
Well, stop there by the skipper, getting across, Samaru making the stop. And Zyda James that time driving that one well on the offside as the first over comes to an end. 1 without loss at the end of the first over here for the Windward Islands. So Ramnath opening at one end, so spin at one end. From what I saw in the warm-up, I did see, in terms of the bowlers who would have been warming up, Janaba Joseph, Katie Jazz Mitchell, Amelia Khan, and Shalini Samaru was also warming up to bowl for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Yesterday, we saw a number of those names you call being used. We saw Samara Ramnath, Janaba Joseph at the top, Shalini Samaru, Katie Jazz Mitchell, and Kiara Ruben. That makes up the core of that TNT bowling lineup.
TNT have also been very resistant to change in terms of the lineup, despite the fact that this is a very congested tournament over the space of the week. TNT have been one of those teams that have not made too many changes in this throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and speaking about changes, no changes to these two teams coming into today's game. Both teams remain unchanged.
And of course, there are matches on tomorrow, so they could do the same thing tomorrow if all remains well. Just remember, as we watch, Joseph will start out. Now, but Joseph didn't do too much with the bat. She'll hope to make up with the ball. Oh, that one's coming in the pads. That's going to be close. That is out. Great delivery to start off here from Janaba Joseph, and Smith has to go LBW. That one looked pretty much in front.
Playing the horizontal bat shot right across the line to a straight delivery there from Janaba Joseph. On the money immediately. First delivery, striking Janaba Joseph. And much to the delight of the crowd here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. More so on the northwestern end of the ground. And they are up and running, the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Yeah, so that was, we'll see the replay of that hopefully in just a moment there. But what a great start from Joseph. Her first delivery at that ball, pitching outside the off stump, and it started to move in. If anything, the decision the umpire had to make, umpire Ryan Willoughby of Barbados, was it going to be moved too much and go down the leg side? He didn't think so. He thought that would have hit the stumps.
Yeah, I think it would have been hitting the middle and leg stump. Certainly, she was deep in the crease there as well. So that's something to take into consideration. Not much space for the ball to move as it struck on the pad. And
Janila Glasgow is now in for the Windward Islands. So Trinidad and Tobago striking a blow here early, but that brings the two big hitters here for the Windward Islands, James and Glasgow, two contrasting. And here's the delivery. Yeah, that one was definitely moving. You could see the movement after it pitched. And yeah, I think the real question the umpire had to decide, was that moving enough to go down leg side?
Yeah, in the end, he raised the dreaded finger, so he was happy with that appeal from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, he does give himself a little time to think it over, umpire Willoughby. Oh, that's the movement, John. That one started on the line of the stumps. So this is a dangerous delivery here from Joseph. And it's going to take some doing here for the Windward Islands team. And Glasgow is certainly one who is equal to the task.
Yeah, Glasgow, she likes to get on with the game. But losing a wicket early, I think she'd look to be a bit conservative. Janelia Glasgow and Zayda James, both of these batters. Looking a bit overcast here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
Full toss. Is that going to be a no ball? No, it's not. Just to remind you, Trinidad and Tobago in second place in the table, and USA going to the top after winning against Guyana earlier. That one, I think that was above the height of the waist there. Maybe she could have gotten away with that. And the USA going to the top of the table on 18 points earlier today, beating Guyana by 10 wickets. Now the full toss over the head of the fielder, and that will run away to the boundary for 4 runs. Not a great delivery here from Joseph after that absolute peach first delivery that she bowled. This one was a nice tame full toss.
Yeah, nicely played there. Over that fielder's head there. Fingertips it maybe there. Yeah,
I think she did get a touch into that.
Yeah, but good looking shot though. She played that smartly. She looked to get under it and guide it over the fielder's head.
So Trinidad and Tobago need to win this game to join the USA on 18 points. We will set up a virtual final in this round-robin competition tomorrow. TNT versus the USA here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Here's the game, Windward Islands against Guyana tomorrow. Another good delivery. Still some movement outside, away from the left-hander. And why the Windward Islands need to win this game, it will lift them to 14 points as we're starting to see the elements once again here. If the Windward Islands can win this game, they will now go on level with TNT, and if they can beat Guyana tomorrow, they could actually move above and get the title. Driven beautifully for 4. Perhaps the best shot we've seen in the competition, and that is Glasgow posing for the cameras and hitting that one beautifully for 4.
Bold statement there, video, but I'd have to agree with you. One of the better shots we've seen. That's pure class from Janelia Glasgow.
Boy, that just oozed class, certainly from a Glasgow who got that contract, the development contract from the West Indies, Cricket West Indies, a couple of weeks ago. Boy, that one shot alone could tell you that she has certainly a lot of class. 13 for 1, the Windward Islands, after 2 overs.
Yeah, the seniority of these two girls out there in the middle goes back to 2019 as well. Remember, they participated in that regional under 19 tournament right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course Windward Islands played Trinidad and Tobago in the finals. They were defeated, of course, by Trinidad and Tobago. But Janelia Glasgow and Zyda James, they were named in the team of that tournament.
Was there a touch onto that? Ramnath was convinced. Carol Brown less so.
Yeah, she was pleading with the umpire there, Samara Ramnath. But umpire Carolyn Brown, she wasn't interested. Looked a bit high though.
Oh, it was definitely, that's why, bat onto pad. And Ramnath didn't see it. The interesting thing was there was no appeal from behind the stumps. They obviously saw the edge, the keeper and first slip. Cut away. That is not going to be one. Could be a run out at the other end. Glasgow's quick. She gets back in time. And just to remind you, as we saw the bit of drizzle earlier in the last over, remember 5 overs constitutes a match. If this goes to 5 overs into that region, then we'll go down to Duckworth-Lewis Stern method. And easily fielded there by Mitchell. Now the Duckworth-Lewis pass score, this is where the young players have to be savvy, Visham. They have to know that's part of their awareness for this game.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, while...
Swept away. There's a field out there. It's only going to be 1 this time. They could push for 2 here. As Neves, actually that's Kassar coming into the picture to do the fielding.
Yeah, while we speak about the players and analyze the technical aspect of their game out there in the middle, you know, a vital part of the game is that theoretical aspect, Vidya, ensuring that all of these players know the rules of the game as it relates to Duckworth-Lewis, everything surrounding cricket on the field of play that would be needed. I think it's important that they know it.
So now it is James who's going to face up to Ramnath for the first time. Umpire Brown just making sure that she has the correct instructions. There's 2 balls to go in the over. And just watches that one go past her. She knows that one will be turning away from her. And this is where the coaches would have to work on their game situations. TNT coached by Kelvin Williams and Devendra Singh. Drag that on. No, just past the leg stump. That was very, very close. The batters get 2 here. Not far away. Not the best shot here from Zyda James.
Yeah, and as we saw that as well, the drizzle starts to get a bit heavier here now, Vidya. This doesn't look a good sight here.
Yes, and I think the umpires may be on the verge here. Now that shot, of course, against the backdrop of the side screen may exaggerate how heavy it is. It's not quite that heavy, but it's a close-up shot of the drizzle here. In the meantime, Ramnath's over has come to an end. None for 4 after 2 overs. 16 for 1. The Windward Islands after 3 overs.
The wicket getting a bit of moisture on it. This could assist the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers. The ball tend to skid on a bit when the wicket has that moisture. And coming into the attack is Katie Jazz Mitchell, who tends to bowl those deliveries flat. And she bowls a heavy ball, Katie Jazz Mitchell.
Yeah, she hits that hard length well, and that's going to suit her. She is going to benefit from that moisture and get it to skid. Yeah, that one, good delivery outside the off stump. James was just trying to play back it across. Almost got the edge. You can still see the drops coming down. So the drizzle still very much with us here. That's going to freshen up the pitch a little bit. So the conditions might be that little bit dicey here for these 2 Windward Islands batters. Katie Jazz Mitchell had a bout with dehydration in one of the earlier games, one of the hotter days here in Trinidad and Tobago earlier in the tournament, and she had to be stretchered off the field during that period. She recovered and is back on the field here for TNT. One shaping into the batter well. That's a good run. They get there comfortably. That's good from Glasgow and James. And Glasgow, sensing that James was struggling, got her off the strike.
Yeah, that's good thinking, and that's the seniority coming to the forefront there of both players. And we're just speaking about them in that tournament against Trinidad and Tobago, of course, in Trinidad and Tobago as well. But Janelia Glasgow, recently she was a travelling reserve with the West Indies team to South Africa and the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup as well. While Zaida James was a member of the West Indies Women's A team, as Vidya mentioned.
That's missed. Yeah, it's, in the meantime, that is not a great bit of keeping here from Sao, and that's gone for buys. So that's 5 more. And Sao, a regulation take, you have to say, and she's missed that. We've seen that throughout the tournament. She's a fine batter, but I think she will certainly want to, looking forward, she'd certainly want to improve on her keeping.
Yes, she would. I think that's an area of a game that she'd want to improve on if she's to continue as a wicketkeeper batter. But certainly, she has a good foundation. So just to build on that video.
One, they will go for a second here. Chased down here by Ruben, Kiara Ruben, left armer, who we might see with the ball later on today. Left arm orthodox bowler. The two Ruben girls, Katrina and Kiara. Kiara has been on, but not Katrina has not gotten a look in here. In the meantime, you still might be seeing some drops, and that's because it's getting a little bit heavier. The groundsmen are off their out from under the shed. They are looming just around by the covers. In the meantime, Mitchell's first over has ended, and at the end of it, it's 23 for 1, and that 5 runs which came as a result of those buys are contributing to that. And as you can see there, yeah, it is coming down, and the umpire is having a close look at this there, Visham. As you can see, the man whose name is on the stadium on the big billboard away to the left of us here.
Yeah, just stepped across there to the northeastern end of the ground, and I saw there's a lot of rain coming in from that direction. And looking across to the southeastern end as well, there's a lot of rain coming in over the hills there. That's not a good sign.
Now, this game is just 1 over away from constituting what will be a game. So it's going to be interesting. Now, the Duckworth-Lewis pass score is not up on the board. At least, yes, it is. It's there, 24. That is the DL pass score, 24. Trinidad and Tobago are behind that right now. Windward Islands, excuse me. So this is Samaru, and you can see there she's urging her players to move on quickly here. Actually, just a correction. That is Samaru, yes, bowling. She's just urging her players to get in.
She's actually made a field change as well. She's brought in Maria Lafourcade from that extra cover region on the boundary, and now she's sent back KD Jazz Mitchell to a deep mid-wicket position on the boundary as well. There's the rain coming down heavier.
Yeah, it's coming down heavier. Now, this game is still not up to that 5 over mark to constitute a game. TNT ahead on the rate at the moment. Oh, it's the return catch just past the bowler. Just one. And this game is so close that a boundary here for the Windward Islands could actually take them into a position where they're equal with the pass score.
And I'm sure Glasgow would be having a look at the scoreboard. I'll be telling her that the total for Windward Islands should be up to 24 at the moment. It's 20 for 1.
Sorry, but if they can get a boundary in this over and it constitutes a game, that's going to be very interesting. A good delivery here from Samaru. Just homing in on that line outside the off stump.
And you can see the wicket, the colour of the wicket just changing a bit there, Vidya. Tells you that there's some moisture on it with that rain coming down. Bit darker.
She's gone for the big hit. That is out. She's gone for the big hit, looking for the boundary. And Samaru has taken the wicket. Glasgow's gone for 10.
Yeah, that's a good ball there from Samaru, getting it right up in the block hole there. That struck her on the boot there. Glasgow was going right across the line, looking to take Samaru into the onside. Maybe looking for that boundary to get up to 24. The Duckworth-Lewis pass score. And on the boot, hand to boot, that's always going to be out, you know, once it's straight. And it looked to be going on to hit the leg stump.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's exactly that. She was looking for the boundary. She's looking at the Duckworth-Lewis pass score. She knows that if they can get the 4, they'll be equal to it. And that could that would have been interesting for them. And the pressure is told on her here because this is the interesting thing. You think that the team batting second has the advantage, batting knowing exactly what they need to do. However, if you fall behind the Duckworth Lewis pass score, that's the kind of pressure that this situation can put on the batters.
Yeah, and that's a big blow for the Windward Islands. Janelia Glasgow goes back for a runner ball 10. And Shalini Samaru, she continues to strike for Trinidad and Tobago. She had 4 for none in that first game in 2.1 overs. Yesterday she had 3 for 7, and now she's already struck in her first over here.
So it's Namia Marcelin who is in now, and Marcelin had 37 against the Leeward Islands, so she's had some runs. She has some confidence coming into this game. Samaru 1 for 1 and just 1 ball. After this ball, it will constitute a game. Windward Islands 20 for 2. Duckworth Lewis pass score is 24. So boundary. That's how close this game is. Keep it down to a dot ball at the end of Samaru's first over. At the end of 5 overs, the Windward Islands are 20 for 2.
Marcelin yesterday, both her and Zyda James, a pair at the wicket at the moment. They finished off the game for the Windward Islands. They had a partnership. I'll tell you how much that partnership was. Partnership of 14 just to finish off the innings. And yeah, she had 18 and Zyda James had 52 or 53. Actually, that partnership of 14 came from Glasgow and Zyda James. But yes, it was certainly a good partnership from Zyda James and Namia Marcelin. Marcelin finished with 18 of 23.
And in the meantime, here is Ruben coming in, and she's bowling from the northern end. So the first time we've seen the left-arm orthodox bowler, Kiara Ruben. And as you can see, there's a very small young lady, which gives it a lot of air. James pulls that away. There's a fielder out to the boundary. And that's Lafoucault to come in to do the fielding. So just 1 to the total. And 5 overs in the books. The 2 fielders on the boundary are at square leg and mid wicket. Let's see if that changes now for Zyda James. Actually, the new batter Marcelin. Yeah, 2 fielders going out to the boundary on the leg side. 1 at deep mid wicket, the other at square leg. Yeah, it's tough to negotiate there because the lack of pace. You really have to add a real punch to that if you're batting against someone like Kiara Ruben.
You have to wait on it, and if you're looking to score, you have to force your way and maneuver the ball.
That's swept. It won't carry to the fielder. They will get 1. Good running there by James, who was down to the striker's end in the flash.
Yeah, and Marcelin there certainly would have been a bit concerned as that one went up into the air. Samara Ramnath was running around, could not get to it. The rains starting to come back here at the Lara Cricket Academy.
And with the loss of that wicket, the Duckworth Lewis pass score is now up to 32. Played into the offside. So that wicket, you could have seen that perhaps the batter not understanding that maybe it was just a passing cloud, trying to get the 4 and losing her wicket there, Glasgow. She was out LBW for 10. And now that's put like a different complexion on this game. Is that a wide? No, it's not. One of the interesting things about the Duckworth Lewis Stern method, as it's called, based on the concept of resources, and every time a wicket falls, that changes that the requirements of the team batting second. Certainly makes it more difficult. Well, you won't tell from the way Zyda James hit that one. We'll get 1 only. You were interested in the second one. That struck Zyda James on the helmet here. She's laughing. She says that's fine. And the groundsmen are going to get the covers. The umpires have said they're going to call the covers on here. So after 6 overs, the Windward Islands are 23 for 2, and the covers have been called on. Right now, just to remind you, the Duckworth Lewis par score is 32. That is where the Windward Islands need to be in order to win this match if play cannot continue here. So Trinidad and Tobago are ahead at the moment. But given the conditions we've seen, yes, the rain is just drizzling, but I think there's enough light here. We could actually see this game continue, Visham Lalman.
Well, the groundsmen have stopped, and then they've been called back now to continue coming on with the covers. For a moment, the rain seemed to have eased, but it's coming back now. But yes, Vidya, I think Trinidad and Tobago would certainly be the happier of the two teams in this position. Not a good power play for the Windward Islands on the 19 team. Losing a wicket and now 2 wickets in that power play, it's never good.
It is never good. So we'll return when we find out more if this game will continue to tell you what's happening. At the moment, the Windward Islands, who are chasing 112 for victory, are 23 for 2 after 6 overs. The umpires, after allowing a long bit of play with the rain in just that sort of persistent mode, have decided to call on the covers. And Windward Islands have fallen behind the Duckworth Lewis par score. Let's see if this game will continue here as the rain starts to get a bit heavier now, Visham Lalman. But we will update you as we learn more here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Welcome back to the Lara Cricket Academy. The rain delay has ended. The Windward Islands 23 for 2 after 6 overs. And as a result of the rain delay, the target that the Windward Islands will chase has now been changed. They are now chasing 89 from 15 overs. The game reduced by 5 overs. So 89 of 15 overs. However, it is not the easiest of tasks here, Visham Lalman. They need 66 from 54 balls. That is 66 runs from 9 overs. That is not going to be easy here at the Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, one of their top batters back inside the dugout already, Janelia Glasgow. That's not going to help them at all as well. And you know, these little rain delays and drinks break, as the case may be, tends to give an advantage to one of the teams, benefit one of the teams. You'll have to see which team that this rain delay does benefit.
Mitchell, that one keeping a little bit low at the start here to Zyda James. James 5 of 16. Marcelin, as you can see, 1 of 3. James had a very fluent 52 of 53 deliveries against Jamaica, and she can ill afford a very slow start here. She needs to get going. She can keep it about a run a ball. Would make it a bit easier here for the Windward Islands. Good start here from Mitchell, who is bowling from the southern end of the ground. Katie Jazz Mitchell from the Presal area. Actually, she showed a great propensity for cricket in her very young age, and up to the age of 12 she was training with the boys in the area, which is a feature of many of these young ladies, the stories of many of these young ladies in this team. Run, and you tend to find out a lot here with some of these players.
Yeah, and that would have put her in good stead as well. Would have helped her develop into such a good cricketer that she is, and all of these cricketers who are out there at the moment.
I think she has gotten the soft warning here from Carolyn Brown. She was just following through into that danger area, and she will have to stay away from that. Cut away over the head of the fielder. That's running towards the ropes, and we'll get there. 4 runs. James up to 9 now, and a boundary to start off here in the first over after the break. That'll do a confidence a lot of good.
Yeah, looking to cut that one away on the offside and willfully playing it uppishly over backward point as well, over that short third man fielder actually. That was Samara Ramnath there, and it raced away. So welcome boundary for the Windward Islands, and Zyda James moves on to 9.
Pulled away into the gap. That's gone for another 4 consecutive boundaries here for James, and she has started on the accelerator. And look at this, a good start here from Zyda James, a little left-hander. That is an excellent shot.
Yeah, you don't want to be short on this track here now, given the moisture that it has on it. The ball is just going to sit up. Yes, it's going to skid on a bit, but you can't afford to be short at the pace that which Katie Jazz Mitchell is operating at. And that allowed Zyda James to pull it through the onside, forcefully.
A little bit of conversation between captain and vice captain for TNT. Samaru and Sao having a little talk here and pondering a field change, and they have sent Roberts out to that deep mid-wicket position. She's not fully on the boundary. She's just off the boundary outside of your picture there. Better delivery here from Mitchell. And there is Kassar, who ended it with a flurry of boundaries. 18 for her as the over comes to an end here. A 31 for 2, 9 runs off that over.
Yeah, not the best of overs there from Katie Jazz Mitchell. Something that I don't think Shalini Samar would be too happy about, but they're still in a good position nonetheless. But it's going to be a bit difficult for the spinners now to, grip this white leather ball with the moisture that it would have on it as well.
And it is going to be Ruben to continue. She's bowling from the northern end. Started just before. So she's going to continue now. And let's see how she adapts. If it is going to be difficult to turn the ball, let's see what sort of turn she is going to get here. This is Ruben. 00 on her back. Well, there was a change. Katie Jazz Mitchell was just outside of the circle, so she was just stepping in as Ruben was about to bowl. Just waiting for the ball to come to her, and can't power it away. Trinidad and Tobago on the offside have a backward point, cover point, an extra cover, and a mid-off. So a strong cordon of players on the offside. Slightly on the leg side, so it's pulled away. They will get one here, the Windward Islands. Remember, there has been a change. They're chasing 66 of 55 at the start. Now they need 57 of 46. So while it's not dangerous here, they need a couple of boundaries to kind of bring some parity to the run chase.
And if you're the batting team and you're not getting those boundaries, at least you want to keep rotating the strike. That's key.
The other indicator that they're behind the 8 ball. Duckworth Lewis pass score is 37. They're 32 for 2. Big hit, straight. This could go to the boundary. No one's going to catch that today. Tossed up, and that was well put away by the left-handed Zyda James. That's a third boundary for her.
Well flighted delivery and well weighted there from Zyda James. And absolutely smashed straight back over the bowler's head in the V, as the coaches tells the batters to play.
What was so good about that shot is that she hit it perfectly straight. There is long on, a mid-on and a mid-off in place. Now that mid-on has been pushed back to long on.
And wide long on as well. Of course, Ruben turning the ball into Zyda James.
Oh, this is powered through extra cover for 4. One of the best shots of the match we've seen. Seen a couple of real scorchers. And this one from James. Look at this. This is great stuff.
Yeah, leaning forward, getting that front foot outside the off stump and smashing it through the offside for 4.
16 runs and boundaries for James since she's come out. 21 of 24. And Trinidad and Tobago are rattled here. And James is doing all of the heavy lifting at the moment. And TNT in some problems here. 49 of 44. We talked about the need for a couple of boundaries, and there they are.
And that Duckworth Lewis pass score just about 48 at the moment. And James is looking to get a move on. Continuing her good form from yesterday. Here Ruben.
Works it on the leg side, and that's a good single. So this is fine cricket here from Zyda James. 2 boundaries and the single, and she's turned over the strike, and with 1 ball still remaining, she should get the strike in the next over. Marcelin, 2 of 5 faces the last delivery.
Yeah, Ruben not extracting much turn from the track here. Serene Samaru having some things to think about.
Pulled away. There's a fielder out there, and it's Kassar who does the fielding, and I think we'll see her at some point in this match bowl. Kassar. End of the over. That is another expensive over. 10 runs, 11 runs coming off the over for the Windward Islands. So since they've come back, that is 20 runs have been scored in 2 overs.
And 4 boundaries have been struck off the bat of Zyda James in that 20 runs. 16 of that 20 runs coming in boundaries. Zyda James realizing that she needs to get a move on. But the girl with the golden arm, Shalini Samaru, comes back into the attack. The captain of Trinidad and Tobago.
She balls with the cap on. When you have long hair, you can actually pull the cap, pull it through the back of the cap there, and stays on well. That's why you see so many women with long hair bowl with caps on. So let's see if Marcelin can turn over the strike here. Well, she almost played that on. Off the boot, that could have gone anywhere. Oh, they've given it away here. That's very poor from Trinidad and Tobago. Not a great return, and that has given away an overthrow.
And they would have wanted to keep Namia Marcelin on strike rather than have the informed Zyda James coming on to face Shalini Samaru. But an overthrow allowed for Marcelin to get to the other end, get Zyda James on strike.
So you might be seeing some drops of rain. That's because that's from the grandstand in front of us. It's not raining at the moment. So that's why you're seeing those drops, just to give you an idea. So Samaru bowling from the southern end of the ground. And she's bowling to James. Deep mid-wicket in place for James. Oh, that's true. The legs of the extra cover fielder. That's one. They will go back for the second. They're coming back for the second. Oh, there could be a run out here. There must be a run out. And it is James who has to go. Massive turnaround in the game here. And the Windward Islands have lost sight of James for 22. Wow, what a turnaround. She was really starting to look great. And now is gone by the run out route.
Yeah, there isn't a bigger wicket in this game, at least for the Windward Islands. Zyda James has to go back. What a wicket. She was just looking to get a move on. She was driving this one nicely past Samara Ramnath. Katie Jazz Mitchell came around. They were looking for the second. They hesitated. And a rocket throw came back into the wrong end though. And well, good awareness from the skipper Shalini Samaru to get it to the wicket keeper Chanel Sao to issue that run out. Good thinking by Trinidad and Tobago. A big wicket for them. What a timely wicket as well.
Yes, it is. And James is run out for 23. So the disease that hit TNT has struck the Windward Islands early here. They lost two big wickets. Katie Jazz Mitchell, she relayed, got the throw into Samaru, and Samaru got it into Sao, and they were able to effect a run out. So another turn of the screw here, and Trinidad and Tobago certainly now you would think have struck a decisive blow.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And Nisha Cherry comes out to the middle to partner with Namia Marcelin. Zyda James would be gutted with herself. Very unhappy with the way she have gotten out.
And the thing is, she started so well. Those 4 boundaries, she was looking ominous, very, very dangerous. But the Windward Islands, a miscommunication between her and I think what happened was Marcelin actually dropped her bat.
Yeah.
And so she had turned her back on the run. But I think in a case like that, Marcelin really has to sacrifice her wicket to keep the captain in. Defensive shot here, and every dot ball is being cheered wildly by the crowds away to our right. In a situation like that, you really have to take one for the team. But Marcelin was insistent that she was going to get through for that second run. I don't think that many of... there's another misfield here, but this time they're not going to take the single. I don't think too many of the Windward Islands supporters would have held it against James if she had just turned her back and not gone for that second run.
Yeah, definitely so. They spotted the chance for the second run though, but I think Marcelin there, as you mentioned, she should have sacrificed the wicket.
The thing is, that's a dead ball. James was never seemed to be interested, but then when she heard the call of Marcelin, she took off for the second run. She could have stayed her ground, but it's turned out to be the Windward Islands losing their captain for 23. 43 for 3, Marcelin on 4. Cherry is yet to score here. What a turnaround. That was an exciting period of the game. Now it's settled down here. TNT will try to pick up the pieces once again. That should be one. There could be a chance at another run out here. Wrong end. And Ramnath not aware of what was going on. She was just tunnel vision towards the keeper.
And Shalini Samaru must have been calling for that throw to come to her end. But again, a little more awareness required there from Ramnath. Yeah,
the big picture definitely was not in her sights. This one should be a comfortable run. And the Windward Islands, 1 run out. Trinidad and Tobago, 3 run outs in their innings. So that's 4 run outs for the game. The pressure is on. We're at the business end of the competition. Samaru is bowled at 2 overs. And at the end of 9 overs, the Windward Islands are 45 for 3. Now remember, this is a 15-over game now. And the Windward Islands are chasing 89 for victory.
Yeah, 6 more overs to go, 44 runs to get. I think with 7 wickets in hand here, the Windward Islands, it's a big ask of them. With what we've seen, they normally depend on Zyder James, Janita Glasgow, and Namia Marcelin. There's Marcelin still there out in the middle.
So there's going to be a change in the attack here. I believe this is Amelia Khan who's going to continue. And that is now, even though, as you can see, the Windward Islands need 44 of 36 deliveries. One bad over here could turn it around. We saw this with that Trinidad and Tobago Barbados game where one over conceding 19 runs. Barbados, who in a great position, that was it. TNT went on to win it. They broke the Barbados resistance here. So Khan has to keep things going for TNT. Starts off well. Good delivery.
Yeah, just on about that fourth sub line, going away from the bat of Marcelin, who was driving expansively. Didn't make contact. They would need to time the attack here now, Windward Islands. Which is the bowler that they're going to target and at what time they would look to do so with 6 overs to go. Well, 5.5 overs to be precise.
Another good delivery here from Khan. Khan actually started off as a footballer, very much into football, gained national attention in football, changed her attention to cricket, and here she is representing Trinidad and Tobago at the national level. Well, one thing you know, once you play football, you're going to be very fit. That's down the leg side. It's a wide. TNT have been a lot better today in terms of the wides. That's just the 5th extra of the innings. And remember, 4 of those coming from byes.
Yeah, in this tournament, they've been the team to bowl the least amount of extras, which I think they would be proud of. Of course, Coach Kelvin Williams, head coach of this team, bowling coach as well, one of the top bowling coaches.
Down the leg side, yes, Kelvin Williams, former Trinidad and Tobago all-rounder. Very optimistic. That was going way down the leg side. Kelvin Williams, former national men's coach, would have been part of the setup for the TNT cricket board for quite a long time. And he is a quiet character, but never doubt his commitment to the game. Driven away through the cover region, just one. And straight to the fielder, who is just about halfway to the boundary and outside the circle. Now, if she had been on the circle, that would have been a dot ball. Yeah. But why have the fielder 3/4 way to the boundary where you're neither stopping the single or, well, you're preventing the 4, yes, but you're not going to take the catches either.
Yeah, your guess is just as mine, Vidya. I can't understand why Shalini Samaru had that fielder there, but it was Janaba Joseph.
Good delivery outside the off stump again. This has been a good line here, adopted by Khan since she's come in. And every delivery is greeted by cheers. Away to our right, 42 of 31, and it's slipping away from the Windward Islands here. A couple of boundaries will bring it back close, but they need more than that if they are to get ahead of the scoring rate. Off the pads again, down the leg side, says the umpire. And has that hit the stumps? Yes, it has. But the batters were clearly in.
Yeah, have a look at that again. Full pitch delivery. That was missing leg for sure. And just a slight appeal there from Amelia Khan, but good return there from the fielder. Was it Kiara Ruben at third man?
Well, Marcelin dropped her bat again. That's the second time we've seen her drop a bat. And what was also interesting, when that appeal went in, she actually looked back at the umpire instead of going for the run. And you see, those are the little situations those are the split seconds you lose and resulting in those types of run-outs.
Yeah, that's very much so. And again, the bat is still on the floor, Vidya. Caroline Brown assisting Marcelin there. Get a helmet in check. It's going to be Ruben to continue.
Ruben's going to be bowling her third over. She bowled the over just before the rain break. And here she is, her second after the rain break. Into the cover region, there's no run. This is where the Windward Islands need to get those runs off. They really, if they are to target any ball, it has to be the slow left arm orthodox spin here of this bowler, Ruben.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago have a lot of options to bowl those final 4 overs after this.
Oh, that was a stumping chance missed. And that was not a difficult chance. And Sao, who we talked about her keeping, she should have taken this one.
Yesterday she was brilliant with the gloves, but today she's not having the best of days. You have to admit that.
I think she got something on that. Past Sao, and they get one. Let's see what the signal from the umpire is. I think, did that come off the body? That's what umpire Brown is asking. It wasn't. It was off maybe an under edge. But the stumping chance, just going back to that, I think the ball actually pitched in front of the stumps a second time. And that's why it was difficult there for the keeper, Sao.
50 comes up for the Windward Islands team.
In the air and caught. Another wicket goes down. And Cherry will have to walk back. 50 now for 4. And the Windward Islands slip into further trouble. And that is a wicket for Ruben.
Yeah, these slow deliveries really making it difficult for the Windward Islands to get the ball away. And Cherry hitting that, well actually Maslin hitting that one straight into the hands of the fielder at cover, who took a simple catch. And Ruben strikes. She picks up her first wicket, 1 for 15 in 2.4 overs. They are slipping away further and further to defeat now, the Windward Islands on the 19 team.
Yeah, it is Marcelin Correction there who's gone for 6. So she's out for 6, and the wickets continue to tumble here. 50 now for 4 for the Windward Islands, and their hopes of getting in that position where they can go on to win this game are ebbing away from them now. Now that's not to say they're out of the game. One bad over here for TNT could certainly turn it around. 39 runs needed off 27. Here's how it happened.
It looked to be Anaya Roberts taking the catch there. Simple one. And delighted the entire Trinidad and Tobago team.
Back live, and this is the new batter. It is Nisha Alexander in for the Windward Islands.
Yeah, a lot of work to do here for the Windward Islands team if they had to get over the line.
Yeah, the lack of pace from these deliveries from Ruben is really troubling these Windward Islands batters as they're unable to get it away. They should get one this time. Not as easy as it initially looked like, and more hesitation between the two batters.
Yeah, she was looking to go down the track there, Alexander. Then she played back as she saw the ball being bowled a bit short. She took that off the stumps, off the leg stump. A very brave shot. She was able to get off the mark though. So, it's 38 required now from 24 balls. This is some task here for the Windward Islands team. Number 6, there's Krissa Sky Smith, sitting to the right of your picture in her uniform.
Still looking pretty relaxed there, and getting ready to do the battle for a team. One or two of her colleagues padded up away to her left. So these two have a real task on their hands. Cherry and Alexander, 51 for 3 after 11. This game just 4 overs to go here and 38 runs needed. Great delivery, and that's gone through the defense, and that is the end of Alexander. 51 for 5. And Trinidad and Tobago are storming away with this one.
Yeah, elated with that there, Amelia Khan. Look at her go. She's celebrating a lot. And she's greeted by her captain and all of her teammates there. She gets her first wicket. And a well-deserved wicket as well. She bowled a good first over. This one was right up in the block hole. A Yorker there. And Alexander playing right over it. And she was gone. The middle stump was knocked back. And it's the 5th wicket down now for the Windward Islands.
Well, what was a difficult task, Visham, has now gotten a lot more difficult, and Kiara Rubin has done a big part in achieving that. She's taken 2 wickets in that over, and has that broken the resistance now of the Windward Islands?
I think it has. I'm not going to count them out of this game just yet. There's still 23 balls to go, 38 runs to get, but they are staring down the barrel of defeat here, Vidya.
They certainly are. It's going to be very difficult from this point. Still 5 wickets to go, and Fontaine, the wicketkeeper, is in. And Fontaine, who hasn't gotten a lot of runs in this tournament, now facing up to Khan. I think Khan is looking for a repeat of that full delivery. Exactly that, off the pads. Yes, that's out. She's on a hat trick, and Khan has taken another one.
Well, a straight delivery there from Amelia Khan, and it cannoned into the path. That was going to hit Midland leg stump for sure. The umpire Ryan Willoughby from Barbados raised that dreaded finger, and he has sent back the wicketkeeper batter, Fontaine, playing right across the line. Well, that would have been hitting middle stump, Vidya. Good delivery from Amelia Khan. 2 for 2 now she has.
Yeah, I don't think she was exactly sure that would have been out, but she was so surprised when umpire Willoughby gave that out. So she is now on a hat trick here.
Yeah, 51 for 6 now. A horror story here for Windward Islands. They are falling away. It's Abini Saint Jean coming out to the middle, replacing Fontaine.
Well, we have seen a hat trick in the tournament already, Visham, and I'm not sure if you did that game.
Well, it was by Claxton. She got a hat trick against the Windward Islands, against this said team who are batting at the moment. She had 3 for 29. Jazara Claxton.
So the first delivery saw one player bowled, and it is. Here's the hat trick delivery from Amelia Khan, bidding to become the second player to get a hat trick in the tournament. And she does it! 3 and 3! And Amelia Khan has done it here. 3 wickets, 2 bowled, 1 LBW, and a hat trick, and Trinidad and Tobago well on their way to victory now.
What a performance here from Amelia Khan. She's certainly broken the back of the Windward Islands team. They can do no wrong at the moment. The Trinidad and Tobago team, look at them. She's waving to the camera. You go, girl. Amelia Khan, 3 for 2.
Wow, what a performance here from Amelia Khan. And look at this delivery, sneaking under the bat, hitting the off stump, and she has her first career hat-trick. What a moment for her. And that's the value of challenging the defense of the batters at every moment. And look at this, she deserves that trick at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. Mr. Anil Dungi Lakan, her coach, would be proud of this moment. I'm sure he's jumping in Debe as we speak. He was telling me earlier in the tournament that we should look out for Amelia Khan, and she certainly stood up to the occasion here, Vidya. 3 for 2. This is some performance from the right-arm seamer.
Well, it's been a lot to take in. So we've had 3 for 3. Alexander, Fontaine, and Shah gone. And now the new batter is Gaines, who is in. And can they contain the rampant Khan at the moment? Still not over. Still 3 balls to go in the over. It's not over just yet. Not close to the edge. And what an over. She will remember this for the rest of her life here. 51 for 7. And a great bit of bowling from Khan.
Yeah, keeping it simple. That's what she has done. Straight, and you miss, I hit. That is what she is telling the Windward Islands batters, and it worked for her.
Sa was not quite ready there. The umpire signaling dead ball. Well, no question about the 2 balls, but that leg before decision, that one certainly looked plumb. Swung away, looking for that Yorker once again. This time a full toss not put away by the batters.
She has 3 for 2, and she has 2 overs after this.
Think she might get another one.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Certainly think. I don't think anyone can drag that ball away from her now. Last ball of perhaps the over of her life so far. Hit powerfully. There could be a run out. Well, that's good fielding from TNT. And just as we say that, they almost give away an overthrow. Well, that is the end of an excellent over here from Khan. She's taken 3 wickets, and the Windward Islands, who started the over at 52 for 4, are now 52 for 7.
Yeah, and she's being greeted with applause and high fives from all of her teammates. And why not? Brilliant performance from the medium pacer. She deserves it.
Well, just 3 overs to go now, and the Windward Islands need 37 runs off the last 18 balls. And there she is, the hero of the day, the second hat-trick we've seen in the tournament. She's now joined Jazara Claxton as the only 2 players to get hat-tricks in this tournament. And still, in such a short period of time, to get 2 hat-tricks, that's great. Will there be one this time? There will be. Also a chance at a run out, and the Windward Islands in disarray at the moment. And this has come about after that Zyda James dismissal. That run out has proven to be critical. That run out coming in that came in the 9th over, and since then it's all turned around.
It has after that, yeah. Zyda James going immediately after striking 4 boundaries post that rain break.
Oh, there's going to be a run out here. Yes, it is. And another wicket goes down, and Gaines will have to go back. And the Windward Islands falling apart here late in the day, and Trinidad and Tobago look like they will be setting up what will be a virtual final tomorrow, Bisham Nalman.
Yeah, the Windward Islands team shooting themselves in the foot here with these run-outs. You have to say, and yet another run-out, not just in this innings, but in this game, and in the 2 games yesterday as well. So, the 8th wicket down now.
So, Cherry was the one who was run out, unfortunately, and she will have to go. So, Cherry has been run out for 2, and she has left the park at the moment. Now, coming in at number 10 for the Windward Islands. So, 8 down now, and coming in at number 10, it's going to be Natalia Phillip. And what a sorry situation for her to come in. Roberts, the thrower, and that was an accurate throw. And look at that. She had given up way before they knew she was never going to make it. And good throw by Roberts, and Sao did the rest.
Yeah, good collection there by Sao, and she issued that run out quite easily. A better throw as well from Anaya Roberts, just over the bails. Well, 36 from 16. Need some lofty blows. Can Gaines give them that?
Almost snuck that through there, Samaru. And she survives Gaines. And she has been joined by Phillip. Just one more wicket to come. And it's not a great situation here for the Windward Islands, who certainly were in a good position. Leaked some runs at the end, and then they just fell away here. Well, Gaines is just trying to work it away on the onside, but every ball, as you can see, the required rate now, well over 2 runs and over.
Yeah, 15.43, that required run rate.
Phillip decided she wasn't quite ready. Samaru 1 for 5, 2.4. She's been tidies in this tournament and continues to bowl well here. She created something of a stir earlier when she took 4 wickets for no runs earlier in the tournament against the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, certainly 2 of the best bowling performances in this tournament coming from Trinidad and Tobago. Amelia Khan, Shalini Samaru.
Yeah, I think Windward Islands supporters will certainly be reeling from that Amelia Khan effort. Very good, accurate bowling from her. just searching for those Yorkers and bore the fruit. Yeah, it's just petering away now. Trinidad and Tobago have broken the resistance of the Windward Islands team, and their efforts to win this one have hit a wall here against Trinidad and Tobago. 53 for 8 after 13 overs.
Yes, I said that, the victory for the Windward Islands team, really depended on the innings of Janelia Glasgow, Zyda James, and Mia Marcelin. Those three batters, they normally play a pivotal role in the Windward Islands batting effort. And getting them quite early would have helped this effort from the Trinidad and Tobago team, putting them in this position, looking as though they're going to be victors this afternoon.
Yeah, they are in the driver's seat, and it's going to be Khan once again. And Khan looking to add to her 3 wickets already. Here she is. Played away on the offside, and that's gone for 4. So the Leeward Islands get a boundary here. Full toss, and Phillip did well to strike that through the cover region for a boundary.
Against the run-off play, that one being struck away by Natalia Phillip. Just to the left of that fielder there, Janaba Joseph, and it ran away for 4. They'll need a lot more of those.
Well, away to our right, the supporters in red are certainly enjoying themselves. They're having a fine all day here at the cricket. They've seen a hat-trick, and they might see TNT get the win again. Cut away. That's going to go for 4 also here. And Phillip now picks up consecutive boundaries for the Windward Islands. Still some fight in them here. Yeah, she's going down fighting, Phillip. She's not giving up at all.
Yeah, she's on the attack. Natalia Phillip. Could there be a twist in the tail of this game, Vidya?
Well, it's very, very far. It'll be a lot of twisting for it to get to that. But still, you can't write them off totally. 28 needed of 10 deliveries. A couple more boundaries, and might be a little bit worrisome here for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Good to see
Khan 3 for 11.
Good to see Samaru getting up there, having a word with Amelia Khan, telling her not to worry about those boundaries, just focus.
Down the leg side, overcompensating this time. 2 wide outside the off-stump with the previous 2, and now down the leg side.
Yeah, just, not getting a reader right here in this over. Amelia Khan just need to settle.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's this huge adrenaline rush, Visham, as she's taken that hat-trick. She's come down from it now, and that's where, when the endorphins stop running through your body, it's difficult to pick up the pieces. Got a delivery from her. Just 1. And the Leeward Islands still continue to roar on every run scored by their team. And great to see there are a few folded arms inside of the Leeward Islands camp. Some of them know that the game is over, or at least they think so, but still they continue to support their batters out there.
Yeah, Phillip looking to fight back, and now Gaines as well. Sheehan Gaines.
Good delivery from Khan. And she continues to keep it tight here after those 2 rather ordinary deliveries at the start. The last 2 deliveries have been much better.
Yeah, with just about 8 balls to go, it's getting away from the Windward Islands. I think it's, it's almost there for Trinidad and Tobago. Can't get the ball away.
Straight back past the bowler and the fielder, and gone down to the boundary for 4. Mitchell just could not get across to it. And that is another boundary here. And it is going to be Phillip who's picked it up. It's Gaines this time who's picked up the boundary. And maybe there could have been a better effort there from Katie Jazz Mitchell.
Yeah, she was getting that right hand down, but in the end pulling it out of the way. Not too sure why, but 26 from 7.
1 ball remaining in the penultimate over, and 26 still needed. So Windward Islands will need a lot of runs in the last over, and we haven't seen that many runs in the tournament. The heaviest we've seen is 19 runs. Bowled, and that's the 9th wicket down, and Khan has her 4th wicket. And Khan now, her figures looking much better, 4 for 17. And the Windward Islands have lost their 9th wicket, 67 for 9. And Gaines is out for 6.
Well, that's more like it. Amelia Khan keeping it straight, keeping it tight, and knocking back the stumps. I think she likes to do that. Phillip giving herself too much room there on that occasion. And well, she has to go now. One more nail remaining for the Trinidad and Tobago team to put in the coffin of the Windward Islands Women's Under-19 team. They'll be disappointed with this effort, the Windward Islands team. 4 for 17 to Amelia Khan now.
So it is going to be Ross to come in last. And this was the delivery, hitting the middle stump. And of those 4 wickets, 3 bowled, 1 LBW. The benefits of bowling straight here.
Yeah, at the back end of the innings as well, when the batters are looking to go for go for those big shots. You know, it's always good to keep bowling straight.
Well, it is Ross who will come in. Selena Ross at the back end of this, and it is going to be some Ramnath to bowl the last over. Ramnath just has bowled a couple of overs in this game. Here she is to end it off. 21 runs to defend. Well, they can ill afford another run out. But see, she has to defend 21 runs in the last over. That's just, well, that should be enough here for her.
Yeah, she's done well. She's bowled 2 overs for just 4 runs. And, well, the pace of her deliveries has really troubled the batters of the Windward Islands Under-19 team. And it would make it even more difficult for Selena Ross, who's coming at number 11. It's not easy when you're coming in this late and you're asked to do this much, Vidya.
Yeah, that's right. And with the enormity of this victory here for Trinidad and Tobago, it could also actually push them above the USA into first place. Big swing. There was a stumping attempt, and the non-striker Phillip was racing away, and she is furious. She's telling Ross, we have to go for everything, but that would have been suicidal.
Yeah, definitely so. 21 from 4.
Here's Ramnath, just 4 balls to go, 21 needed. It's straight back to the bowler, and that's it. It's all over now. And Trinidad and Tobago have won this match by 20 runs. Victory for TNT. And they have now remained unbeaten in the competition. And they have set up what will be a virtual final tomorrow against the USA.
And no doubt about it, they may just go into that first position as well because of their net run rate. Their net run rate prior to this game was 3.287. USA 2.550. Well, they could well and truly go in that first position. But congratulations to Trinidad and Tobago. They win by 20 runs. Commiserations to the Windward Islands Under-19 team. They fought a hard game as well. But, you know, a couple run-outs in between, some poor choice of shots as well, really proved to be their demise.
Well, before you go, Visham, South 36, 24 for Samaru, 18 for Kassar, not out at the end. 4 wickets for Amelia Khan. Who is your player of the match?
I think I'd look to give it to Amelia Khan, no doubt about that. A hat-trick as well. That really sealed the deal for the Trinidad and Tobago team.
Yeah, the Windward Islands certainly not in a terrible position at that point. But look at that. Khan, those 4 wickets, including the hat-trick. 3 bowled, 1 LBW. And that was all she wrote. James's run out in that 9th over, also proving to be critical. Run out by the Mitchell-Samaru combination there for 22. And after that, it was an awful slide for the Windward Islands as they fall away to a 20-run defeat here.
Yeah, good performance all around from both teams, but Trinidad and Tobago getting on top. 2.3 overs bowled by Samara Ramnath, none for 5, 11 dots in that. Janaba Joseph had 1 over as well, 1 for 8. KD Jazz Mitchell, 2 overs, none for 11. Samaru, Shalini Samaru, the captain, had 1 for 5 in 3. Kiara Ruben had 1 for 16 in 3, and Amelia Khan, talk about some performance with the ball, 4 for 17 in her 3 overs, a hat-trick in that as well.
Applause for the Trinidad and Tobago's players away to our right, as the supporters on either side of our position here, letting them know how they feel about the performance. And after being bowled out for 69 yesterday, this could have been so different. They went on to win by 40 runs yesterday, and now another comfortable win. And here's how it transpired here today. And this was the first wicket to fall. Swinging across the line, and Smith was LBW to Janaba Joseph for 1.
Yeah, that was a good shot from Joseph. I was certainly out there. The umpire raises that finger.
Well, Zyda James was out there, and once she was out there, there's always going to be a chance for the Windward Islands. And that was the first boundary of the innings, hitting it over extra cover.
Yeah, Glasgow struck this one. We said that was the best shot of the tournament. Struck away for 4 through the covers. Classy from Janelia Glasgow.
And then with the rain coming at this point, Glasgow went for the big hit, looking to equalize, and there was the wicket for Samaru, taking that a brilliant one. Then there was a flurry of boundaries after we came out, after the rain break, and Zyda James took control of the innings. That was the first of 4 boundaries. This was the second. Very good pull shot for 4.
Yeah, it stood up to be hit, and Zyda James put it away in a flash. This was another boundary, straight back down the ground, lifted over the bowler's head, and it was hit forcefully for 4 by Zyda James, the third of the 4 boundaries that she struck after that rain delay.
Rain was still falling at this point. It was difficult for the Trinidad and Tobago slow bowlers. And then there was more to come for James. This one also hit through the extra cover region, and a superlative shot from James, who was really showing off the wares. But then this happened through the legs of the fielder, and Katie Jazz Mitchell picks it up, sends it in, a mix-up, an awful mix-up, and James, yes, no, and she was left stranded. She was run out, and that turned out to be the critical turning point. She was run out for 23.
Yeah, definitely so. There was a slide after that. Not a slide because of the rain, but a slide because of good bowling, good performance in the field by the Trinidad and Tobago team.
James had to go. She was run out for 23, and the Windward Islands knew they needed a big effort at that point. 4 wickets for Khan after that, and Khan really tore the stuffing out of this Windward Islands team. And really, that was it from that. Trinidad and Tobago running out winners by 20 runs. So tomorrow, Guyana will play the Windward Islands, and here's the hat trick. This was the first ball of her third over, dead on line with the off stump. And look what happens. Actually, that was the boundary to start. There was a boundary that came in the previous over, and couple of boundaries in the over. She just sort of lost the plot there after the couple of boundaries. There was another here, and then the final couple of wickets fell after this. Despite a flurry of boundaries at the end, here was one of them. Hit back. There was the delivery that Khan got the dismissal, and that was the 9th wicket to fall. And here's the final one. They were going for the run, straight back to the bowler, and she was left stranded, and that was it. And it ends in disarray here for the Windward Islands. They've lost this match by 20 runs. Nothing much they could have done at that point. Visham Lalman, tomorrow Guyana versus the Windward Islands. That is virtually a playoff for 3rd place. And then TNT versus the USA. Who's going to win that one?
Well, we'll have to wait. It's going to be a big clash. The 2 teams right at the top there. Trinidad and Tobago at top of the table. USA second. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We hope that you will join us for that. The climax of the tournament is on tomorrow here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. It's just a 2 games on. Certainly has been an exciting day, and thank you so much for joining us earlier today. Guyana, they were beaten by the USA by 10 wickets. Earlier game between Barbados and Jamaica was rained out without a ball bowled. And now in an exciting second game, Trinidad and Tobago have beaten the Windward Islands by 20 runs. Virtual final on tomorrow between TNT and the USA. We certainly hope you'll join us for that. On behalf of Visham Lalman and the rest of the crew here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, I'm Vidya Ramphal. It's bye for now.